All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another one of our readings. Tonight we're doing an awesome film called From Dusk Till Dawn, penned by Mr. Quentin Tarantino. Um, Speaking of Tarantino, I'll be playing Richard tonight, who was played by Tarantino originally. Playing my brother and partner in crime is Logan as Seth Gecko. Rude Dude, Rudy is going to be playing a bunch of characters, including Frost, who's awesome, Fred Williamson, and some guys at the bar. Anne is going to be Scott Fuller, and also some other roles like Kelly the reporter, played by the late Kelly Preston, R.I.P. We got Charlie playing Jacob Fuller, the man of God, and also some roles played by Cheech Marin in the film, who plays multiple roles. We got Eric doing scene description, and also playing Sex Machine, one of the great film characters of all time. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Nicole playing Kate Fuller, and also Santanico Pandemonium, which is an amazing name, Salma Hayek's character, who originally was going to be played by Jessica. Jessica's not with us today, so shout out to Jessica.
Love you.
Love you, Jessica. So yeah, I guess we're all good to go here. So Eric, whenever you're ready, go for it, my friend.
Yeah. From Dusk Till Dawn, screenplay by Quentin Tarantino, edited by Robert Kurtzman, edited by Georgie. I earnestly wish an end would come to this bloody race I am forced to run. Countess in La Comtesse Noir by Jess Franco. Fade in exterior liquor store day. A convenience store in a Texas suburb, no other businesses surround it. Close up, a light switch is flipped on. The sign on top of the store lights up. It reads Benny's World of Liquor. Title card, Big Spring, Texas, 109 miles west of Abilene, 345 miles east of the Mexican border. A Texas Ranger patrol car pulls into the parking lot, and a real live Texas Ranger, Earl McGraw, steps out. McGraw is in full Ranger uniform, button shirt, cowboy hat, boots, mirrored shades, tin star, and a Colt revolver on his hip. It's about an hour and a half before sundown, and McGraw is off duty for the day. The only other car in the parking lot is a 1975 Plymouth. Interior Benny's World of Liquor day. A young Hawaiian shirt-wearing man named Pete sits on a stool behind the counter. A few close-up customers fiddle about. A man wearing a black suit, black tie, and a wire-rimmed glasses holds hands with a pretty blonde girl in cutoffs and bare feet, of course. They look through magazines. Another black suit-wearing man holds hands with a redheaded girl in a prep school uniform. They look through the beer cooler in the back of the store. Both girls are around 17. McGraw entered the store. Hot goddamn day.
Haven't felt it a bit. Been inside with the air conditioner blasting all day long.
Not even for lunch?
I'm by myself today. Ate my lunch out of the microwave.
McGraw walks over to the beer cooler, as if done ritually every night it is. Takes out a beer, pops it open, and joins Pete by the front counter. Jesus Christ, man. That microwave food will kill you as quick as a bullet. Those burritos are only fit for a hippie high on weed. Pull me down a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm getting tanked tonight.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's just been a shit-ass day. Every inch of it hot and miserable. First off, Nadine at the Blue Chip got some sort of sick, so that boy of hers was working the grill. That fucking idiot don't know rat shit from Rice Krispies. I ate breakfast at 9. Was puking up pigs on a blanket like a sick dog by 10:30.
Isn't there a law or something against morons like that serving food to the public?
Well, if there ain't, there sure ought to be. Who knows that goes on inside his mind.
You could sue the shit out of her, you know? That kid belongs under a circus tent, not flipping burgers. You could own that fucking place.
What the hell would I do with that grease pit? Besides, Nadine's got enough of a cross to bear just taking care of that potato head. Then all this Abilene shit happened. You heard about that bank robbery in Abilene, didn't you?
That's all that's been on the box all day. They killed some people, didn't they?
Yeah, 4 Rangers, 3 cops, and 2 civilians. And they took a lady banked her as a hostage. Pete doesn't say anything. They'll probably make a run for the border, which would bring them this way. And if we get our hands on these shit asses, we're talking payback time. We'll get them all right. I gotta piss. Gonna use your commode.
Knock yourself out.
McGraw drops his last drip of beer, crushes the can, and exits the bathroom. The black-suited man by the beer cooler turns around and, with the prep school girl in tow, walks rapidly toward Pete. We see that the girl is crying.
You think I'm fucking playing with you, asshole? Do you want this little girl to die? Or that little girl? Or your bosom buddy with the badge? Or yourself? Now, I don't want to do it, but I will turn this fucking store into the Wild Bunch if I think you are fucking with me.
Nice. The two men in black suits are the notorious Abilene bank robbers Seth and Richard Gecko, the Gecko brothers, and the other customers are all being held hostage. Seth is the one with the prep girl. Richard is the one with the blonde. Everybody speaks low and fast.
What do you want from me? I did what you said.
Letting him use the toilet, no store does that.
He comes in here every day, and we bullshit. He used my toilet 1,000 times. If I told him no, he'd know something was up.
I want that son of a bitch out of here in his car and down the road, or you can change the name of this place to Benny's World of Blood.
Richard, holding tightly the hand of the terrified girl, leans next to Seth's ear and whispers something. Seth looks at Pete.
Are you giving that pig signals?
What? What are you kidding? I didn't do anything.
Richard whispers something else in Seth's ear.
Says you were scratching.
I wasn't scratching.
You calling him a
He
liar?
told himself.
I'm not calling him a liar, okay? I simply say that if I was scratching, and if I did scratch, it's not because I was signaling the cop. It's because I'm a fucking scared shitless.
Richard speaks for the first time in a low, calm voice to Seth.
Ranger's taking a piss. Why don't I just go in there, blow his head off, and get out of here?
Don't do that. Look, you asked me to act natural, and I'm acting as natural. In fact, under the circumstances, I think I ought to get a fucking Academy Award for how natural I'm acting. You asked me to get rid of him. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, well, your best better a hell of a lot fucking better. Or you're gonna feel a hell of a lot fucking worse.
Toilet flushes.
All right, everyone, be cool. You, be cool.
McGraw steps. Everybody goes back to what they were doing. McGraw steps back out of the back. He appears to be unaware of the situation. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back at it tomorrow. So tonight, I'm gonna sit in front of the box and just drink booze. How much is the bottle?
$6.50.
Out of nowhere, Richard whips out his .45 automatic and shoots McGraw in the head. McGraw goes down screaming. Richard stands over him and shoots him twice more. Jesus. Seth charges forward.
Hey, what the fuck was that about?
Signaled the Ranger.
I didn't. You gotta believe me, I didn't.
When they were talking, he mouthed the words, "Help us."
Fucking liar, I didn't say shit.
Richard shoots Pete, and Pete falls down behind the counter. Seth grabs Richard and throws him up against the wall.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Seth, he did it. You were by the beer cooler with your back turned. I was by the magazines. I could see his face, and I saw him mouth.
While Pete lies on the floor behind the counter, bleeding from his bullet wound, he opens his floor safe and pulls out a gun from it. Seth releases his brother.
Start the car.
You believe me,
yes, I
don't
believe
you?
you. Shut up and start the car.
Richard walks away from Seth and crosses the counter. When Pete springs up, gun in hand, he shoots Richard in the hand. Richard falls to his knees, howling.
Ah!
Both Pete and Seth spray the store with gunfire. Seth dives down an aisle. He reloads. Pete ducks behind the counter. He reloads. Richard has crawled to safety behind an aisle. The two girls have run out screaming.
Richie, you okay?
I'm not dead, but I'm definitely shot. I told you that bastard said help
I
us.
never said help us.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter now because you have 2 fucking seconds to live. Richie?
Yeah,
When I count to 3, shoot the balls out from behind him.
gotcha.
1, 2, 3.
Two brothers start firing toward the counter. They hit the bottles of alcohol on the shelf behind Pete. Pete is crouched on the ground, and glass, debris, alcohol rain down on him. Seth grabs a roll of paper towels from off of a shelf. Richard keeps firing. Seth douses the paper towels with lighter fluid, sets it on the fire with a Zippo, then tosses it. The flaming roll of paper towels flies through the air. The fireball lands behind the counter. The entire counter area immediately bursts into flames. Pete screams from behind the counter. Seth smiles to himself and stands. Richard shakes his head in amusement and stands. Pete runs out from behind the counter, engulfed in flames, still holding his weapon and firing. Seth and Richard hit the ground, firing their 45s. Pete, the torch, falls like a tree into the hostess pastry display. No! Seth and Richard rise from the rubble. Exterior, Benny's World of Liquor, day. They exit the store squabbling. The store is bursting into flames.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Buy the roadmap and leave.
What am I supposed to do, Seth? He
I
recognized
didn't recognize
us.
shit.
Both Seth and Richard stand on opposite sides of the car.
Seth, I'm telling you, the way he looked at us, you especially, I knew he knew.
They both climb in the car. Seth behind the wheel. Seth starts it up. The souped-up engine roars to life. We can hear Seth mumbling under the motor.
Low profile. Do you know what the words low profile means?
Close up. Seth's foot punches gas. The Plymouth tears out of the parking lot backwards, hits the street, and speeds off down the road. We crane up high to see the car leaving a trail of dust behind it as the store burns out of control. Opening credit sequence. Raunchy, honky-tonk music fills the theater, as always. Cuts to exterior Texas Panhandle day. The Plymouth tears ass across Texas plains. As titles play over, we see Seth and Richard enjoying their getaway/road trip. Seth behind the wheel pops open a bottle of prescription pills, empties out 4 of the red capsules in his hand, pops them in his mouth, and watches it back with a slug of Jack Daniels from a pint bottle. Richard looks at Seth through the hole in his hand. Like a boxer, Richard wraps his wounded hand with gaffer's tape. The camera leaves the boys as they whoosh down the street and goes along the length of the car to the trunk. It hangs on the trunk. Then we see through the trunk like Superman, an older woman tied up and helpless in the trunk. The rest of the titles play over black as the song continues. Credit sequence ends. Cut to exterior Emma and Pete's Gravy Train day. Emma and Pete's Gravy Train is a truck stop off the Highway 290. Subtitle appears at the bottom of the screen. Fort Stockton, 238 miles from the Mexican border. Interior, Emma and Pete's Gravy Train day. Emma and Pete's patrons are made up of regulars, truckers, cowboys, and road-weary travelers. The camera dollies through the maze of tables, patrons, and waitresses. It stops when it gets to a table occupied by the Fuller family. The Fullers definitely fall into the road-weary category. The members of the unit consist of the father, Jacob, age 44, an ex-preacher, a good man with rough edges, and his 2 children. Kate, age 19, is a young beauty who possesses what can only be described as an apple pie sensuality. She is dressed like a nice Christian girl, complete with crucifix. Scott, age 16, is Jacob's Vietnamese adopted son. Scott is likable, long-haired kid who always wears a t-shirt with the name of a heavy metal garage band. Sweet. He plays guitar for Precinct 13. The 3 of them are wolfing down a late lunch.
We got about 2 more hours of daylight left. That'll get us into El Paso, which is right next to the border. We'll stop at a motel.
Stop? We're not going to actually stop at a motel, are we?
Scott and Kate speak together, obviously repeating something that Jacob has said about 300 times.
We've got a Winnebago. We don't need those overpriced Roach Havens. We're self-contained.
Okay. Maybe I was a little overzealous, but give me a break. I just bought it.
Scott and Kate continue the impersonation.
Why, just look at all of this. You've got your kitchen.
You got your microwave.
You got your sink.
You got your shower.
See this? Television.
Feel this? Real wood paneling. That's real wood, too. Not that fake stuff.
Unless you 2 wiseacres want to be introduced to the joys of hitchhiking, let's say we drop this.
Truth hurts.
The bittersweet of pills.
You 2 ought to start stand-up act because you're just wasting your humor on me.
Ain't it the truth?
Why do you want to stop?
I'm exhausted.
Why in the back, Dad? I'll drive us into Mexico.
Jacob gives Scott a look that says, "You aren't touching my new motorhome."
I just bet you would. Don't even think about it. Besides, I want to have one night's sleep in an honest-to-goodness bed. Beds in the home are okay, but they're not like a real bed.
Hey, if we go to a motel, can we swim?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Scott gets up from the table and walks out back to the restroom. Jacob and Kate are left alone. There's an awkward moment of silence before.
Dad, when I called the machine to check our messages, there was one from Bethel Baptist. Mr. Franklin said he wouldn't permanently replace you until we come back. He said, when we come home, if you still feel the same way.
That's very nice of Ted, but I'll call him tomorrow morning and tell him not to bother waiting.
I didn't want to talk about this in front of Scott because he gets so upset. But don't you believe in God anymore?
Not enough to be a pastor. Look, I know this is hard on you kids. After Jenny's death, this is probably the last thing you need. But I can't do it any longer. My congregation needs spiritual leadership. Well, they can't get that from me anymore. My faith is gone. To answer your question, yes, I do believe in Jesus, but do I love them? No. After Jenny died, I just thought, what's the point?
It's just all our lives you've been a pastor. And for 20 years you've preached trust in the Lord. And then one day you wake up and say, fuck them?
I didn't say fuck him. I'm just not connected anymore.
That happens. You'll get it back.
Kate, give your old man a little credit. Every person who chooses the service of God as their life's work has something in common. I don't care if you're a preacher, a priest, a nun, a rabbi, or a Buddhist monk. Many, many times during your life, you'll look at your reflection in the mirror and ask yourself, am I a fool? We've all done it. I'm not going through a lapse. What I've experienced is closer to an awakening. I'm not trying to shake your faith. I've just decided not to devote my life to God anymore.
What do you think Mom would say?
Mom's got nothing to say. She's dead.
Cut to close up counter bell. A hand slams down on it. Ring. Interior lobby. Do drop in day. Seth stands at the front desk of the Do Drop In, a standard issue Texas motel. Richard sits outside in the car. Nobody responds to the bell. Seth bangs it impatiently 5 times.
Hold your horses.
An old timer walks through a curtain behind the counter. He's eating a barbecue rib.
What you want?
What do you think I want, you mean old bastard? I want a room.
Exterior courtyard. Do drop in day. Richard sits in the car listening to Merle Haggard on the radio. He watches from his perspective, Seth walking outside and getting in the car. Seth starts it up and drives them to their room.
They have
No.
cable? They have an X-rated
No.
channel? They have a water
I
bed?
don't have anything except 4 walls and a roof. That's all we need.
Their car drives up to room number 9, but they park backing up the trunk close to the door. The 2 brothers get out of the car.
Open the door. We gotta do this fast.
Richie opens the door. Seth goes to the trunk, looks around the courtyard. It's empty. Close up, key going into the trunk lock, turning. Trunk POV, Seth looking into the camera. Seth's POV. A woman in her late 40s is lying scrunched up in the trunk. She is the hostage bank teller from Amblin. She's stiff, scared, and looks an absolute mess.
Don't say a word.
The 2 brothers, quick as a lightning, yank the woman out of the trunk and whisk her into the motel room. Seth closes the trunk and looks around for any Johnny eyewitnesses. Doesn't see any, slams the door. Interior, Seth and Richard's room, day. Seth turns from the door, sees the hostage woman standing.
You plant yourself in that chair.
She sits down in the chair.
What are you planning on doing?
I said plant yourself. Plants don't talk. You want to get on my good side? Just sit there and don't make a peep.
She shuts up. Richard slowly takes off his jacket. He winces from his wound.
Let me help you.
He helps him get his jacket off.
How's it feel?
Ugh, how you think? It hurts like a son of a bitch.
Richie goes over to the bed and lies down on it. Seth takes the pillow and stacks them for Richie to prop his back up against.
I got both rooms on either side of us. I won't feel bad eavesdropping assholes. How's it feel? You okay?
Feels good.
Money.
He heads for the door. Exterior courtyard, motel day. Seth goes into the car, takes out a big suitcase. He scans the perimeter with his eyes. Goes back inside. Interior, motel room number 9, day. Seth comes back in, lays the suitcase on the bed. Richie has the TV remote control in his hand, and he's flipping stations. Seth looks at his watch.
About 5 o'clock. What time does it get dark around here?
About 7.
Good. I'm gonna go check the border, check things out while it's still daylight. Call Carlos and arrange a rendezvous.
Hey, when you talk to him, see if you can arrange a better deal than
It's a
30%.
standard deal, brother. They're not gonna change it for us.
You can try to
These guys
negotiate.
aren't firecracker salesmen from Tijuana. They don't know the meaning of the word barter. You want to stay in El Rey? You give them 30% of your loot. It's scripture. So it is written, so shall it be done. You want sanctuary? You got to pay the price. And the price is 30%. This conversation's over.
All I'm saying.
Richie shrugs and turns back to TV. Seth turns to the hostage, grabs a chair, and slides it up in front of her.
Then we need to have a talk. What's your name?
Gloria.
Shakes her hand.
Hi, Gloria. I'm Seth. That's my brother, Richie. Let's cut to the chase. I'm going to ask you a question. All I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Yeah.
Good. Then let me explain the house rules. Follow the rules. We'll get along like a house on fire. Rule number 1, no noise, no questions. You make a noise, Mr. 44 makes a noise. You ask a question, Mr. 44 answers it. Now, are you absolutely, positively clear about rule number 1?
Yeah.
Rule number 2, you do what we say when we say it. If you don't, see rule number 1.
Seth takes the 45, places the barrel next to the woman's cheek. She squirms and shuts her eyes. He pulls back the hammer.
Rule number 3, don't you ever try and fucking run on us. Because I got 5 little friends, and they can all run a hell of a lot faster than you can. Got it?
She nods her head, yes. He takes the gun away and replaces the hammer.
Open your eyes.
She does.
Gloria, you hang in there. You follow the rules. You don't fuck with us. You will get out of this alive. I give you my word. Okay?
She nods her head, yes. Seth rises.
I'll be back in a bit.
He exits. Richard looks to the TV, then looks to Gloria sitting across the room in the chair. Oh, God.
Want to come up here on the bed and watch TV with me?
You can tell she doesn't want to. He pats the empty space next to him.
Come on.
She gets out of her chair, walks across the bed, and sits next to him. Exterior phone booth day, a phone booth outside of a gas station. Seth is in the middle of a conversation with the party on the other end.
Things are real hot here. Crossing's going to be a bitch. But don't worry, we'll get across. When we get there, where do we go? I can make it as close to the border as possible. I mean, Texas wants our balls. I mean, the quicker we're in your protection, the better I'll feel. Okay, where? The titty twister. All right, I love it already. All right, Carlos, I will see you and your men at the titty twister tomorrow morning. Bye, my friend.
Seth hangs up the phone, lights up a cigarette with his Zippo lighter, and exits frame. After Seth exits, leaving the frame empty, a subtitle appears. El Paso, 5 miles from the Mexican border. Cut to interior Seth and Richard's motel room, night. Richard lies on the bed by himself, propped up by pillows, watching TV, taking a hit from a water bong in the shape of a wizard. On TV, a local newscaster named Kelly Preston is reporting a story about the brothers.
This bloody crime spree started just a week ago today. The oldest of the 2 brothers, Seth Gecko, was serving time in Rawlins, Kansas State Penitentiary for his part in the 1988 Scott City bank robbery, in which 2 law enforcement officers lost their lives. Having served 8 years of his 22-year sentence, Seth Gecko was brought to the Wichita Municipal Courthouse for his first parole hearing. It was while at the courthouse that this man, his younger brother, Richard Gecko, a known armed robber and sex offender, pulled off a daring daylight escape, resulting in the death of 4 Wichita enforcement officers. And this woman, Heidi Vogel, 6th grade teacher who was run over by the geckos during a high-speed pursuit through downtown Wichita.
Map of America. A red line travels from Wichita to Oklahoma.
From there, the brothers traveled from Kansas through Oklahoma
The red line enters Texas, and the camera moves into Texas.
into the great state of Texas, and then finally
We zoom in on a red circled Abilene.
into Abilene.
We hear gunfire and screams. Cut to exterior, the criminal court building day. Kelly walks down the courthouse steps of the criminal courts building of Abilene. She talks to the camera. Cops, lawyers, and citizens bustle in the background.
The list of the dead climbed up to 3 more notches since our last telecast.
Photo, Officer Sherman Goodell in full police uniform.
Officer Sherman Goodell, who was in intensive care following the gun battle outside the Valley Federal Bank building.
Exterior courthouse day. Kelly standing on the courthouse steps, talking into the camera.
Died about 45 minutes ago at Hopkins General Hospital, and about 6 hours ago during a daylight liquor store robbery in Big Springs, the Gecko brothers killed another Texas Ranger.
Cut to photo, Earl McGraw in uniform.
Earl McGraw.
Cut to photo, Pete in a Hawaiian shirt holding up a big fish.
And liquor store clerk Pete Bottoms.
Poor guy. Video footage of Benny's World of Liquor burning down.
They then proceeded to burn the store to the ground.
Cut to video graphic, picture of the Gecko brothers with a tally underneath. The Gecko brothers, Wichita jailbreak, Valley Federal Bank robbery, Big Springs convenience store robbery, death toll 13, Texas Rangers 4, police officers 7, civilians 2.
That changes the death toll to 15. 5 Texas Rangers, 8 police officers, 3 civilians, and 1 hostage.
Cut to photo, Gloria Hill.
Bank teller and mother of 4, Gloria Hill. Heading the case to bring these fugitives to justice is FBI agent Stanley Chase. We talked with Agent Chase earlier this afternoon.
Cut to video interview, Kelly interviewing Stanley Chase of the FBI.
For the time being, we are very confident we will apprehend the fugitives in the next 48 hours. The Bureau, local law enforcement, and Texas Rangers have all joined forces in forming a dragnet to snare Seth and Richard Gecko.
Agent Chase, does it appear that they are heading for Mexico?
Yes, it does, Kelly. We have already alerted the Mexican authorities. They intend to cooperate every way possible in bringing these fugitives to justice.
Are you optimistic about the safety of the hostage they took in Abilene, Gloria Hill?
We've received no news one way or the other. We can only hope for the best.
What about the report from an eyewitness at the liquor store who said that one of the brothers was shot?
This can't be confirmed at this time, but we do believe it to be true. We have reason to believe it was the youngest brother, Richard, and he was shot in the vicinity of his neck and shoulders by the store's clerk.
Is it safe to assume that because the death count involved and the loss of life of law enforcement officers that the Bureau, the Rangers, and the police force are taking this manhunt personally?
I would say that's a very safe assumption. Cut to Richard smiles.
Is it safe to assume, since the law enforcement authorities in the great state of Texas are homosexuals of a sick and deviant nature, they will be too busy fucking each other up the ass to actually catch the Gecko brothers? I would say that's a very safe assumption.
He changes the channel on the television. We see Casper, the friendly ghost cartoon on the screen.
Would you come and play with me?
A big burly cop turns around. Sure, little boy. A ghost! A cop heads for the hills. Casper cries. Poor guy. Seth enters the room carrying a 6-pack of beer and two takeout bags of big kahuna burgers.
Shit, I started to get worried. Where the fuck you been?
Sightseeing.
What'd you see?
Cops.
Did you look at the border?
Seth dumps the burgers on the bed. Both men pop open beers, and Richard goes to town on the hamburger. Seth flips off the TV.
Yeah, I saw the border. A few binoculars from the top of a high building. It's about as close as I risked getting. What's the TV saying?
You're going to apprehend us in 48 hours.
Seth sits down and takes a hit off his beer.
I gotta figure out a way to get across the goddamn border. Long we fuck around in El Paso, our lives aren't worth shit.
Well, fuck the border. Let's just dig in and wait for things to cool down.
Bridging's gonna be a lot fucking worse before it gets any fucking better. We showed our asses in Texas. We killed Texas fucking Rangers. They ain't gonna stop looking for us until they find us. And when they find us, they're gonna kill us. Texas takes it very personal when you kill law enforcement officers. The El Paso police have already started a fucking motel to motel search for us.
How do you know?
I heard on the radio. We got to get our asses into Mexico tonight. Carlos is going to meet us tomorrow morning at a rendezvous on the other side. Then Carlos and his boys will escort us into El Rey. And
Seth stops talking and looks around.
wait, where's the woman?
What?
Seth gets out of his chair.
What do you mean? What the hostage? The fucking woman? Where the fuck is she, Richie?
It's in the other room.
What the fuck is she doing in there?
Goes to the door of the adjoining room.
Seth, before you open the door, let me explain what happened.
Oh, God. Seth stops and looks at his brother. He knows what he means. He can't say anything, only point at his younger sibling. Then he bursts open the door. The dead, naked body of Gloria Hill lies on the bed. It's obvious Richard raped her and killed her. Seth covers his eyes with his hands. He slowly enters the room with the dead body.
Richie, what is wrong with you?
Richard rises from the bed.
Now, Seth, before you flip out, let me just explain what happened.
Seth slowly turns to his brother, then walks toward him. Richard backs up.
Yeah. Explain it to me. I need an explanation. What is the matter with you?
There's nothing wrong with me, brother. That woman tried to escape, and I did what I had to do.
No. That woman would have said shit if she had a mouthful.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Once you left, she became a whole different person.
Me? It's my fault?
It's not your fault. It's her fault.
Seth grabs Richard and throws him in the corner of the room, holding tightly to his wrist.
Was this my fault? You think this is what I am?
What?
This is not me. I am a professional fucking thief. I steal money. You try to stop me. God help you. But I don't kill people. I don't have to. And I don't rape women. What you are doing is not how it's done. Do you understand?
Seth, if you were me.
Just say yes. Nothing else. Just say yes.
Yes.
Say yes, Seth. I fucking understand.
Yes, Seth. I fucking understand.
Nice. Seth hugs his little brother.
Bringing it to Mexico. It's going to be sweet rosemary and 100 proof liquor, rice and beans. None of this shit is going to matter.
Interior motorhome night. Scott and Kate are in the front seat of their parked motorhome. The motorhome's parked in front of the Dewdrop Inn's front office. We see Jacob inside getting a room from the old timer.
I can't believe he's stopping here. This place looks totally cruddy.
Jacob walks out of the office. Kate yells from the motorhome.
Dad, why are we stopping here?
He opens the motorhome door and climbs in.
There's nothing wrong with this place.
It's a flop house.
It's not a flop house. It's basic and simple. That doesn't make it a flop house.
If it doesn't have a pool, we're looking for a new place.
Jacob's starting the huge car and slowly maneuvering it through the courtyard.
It has a bed. That's all I care about.
Other places have beds. They also have cable TV, a gym, and room service.
Exterior courtyard night. Seth walks out of room number 9 with the beer in his hand. He's thinking about how he's going to get over the border tonight. Lost in thought, he steps out in the path of the Fuller's motorhome. Jacob slams on the brakes. Seth jumps back, startled. Both Kate and Scott are tossed out of their seats onto the floor. Thud, thud.
Ow, my head.
Jacob, pissed, honks his horn at Seth and yells out of the window.
Watch where you're going.
Listen to the wolf. Through windshield, Seth just stands right in their way without moving, gazing up at the giant motorhome. Jacob behind the wheel. Kate and Scott join him up, front looking at this weirdo.
What's this guy's problem?
I have no idea.
Seth continues standing in their way, making no attempt to move, not threatening, just looking at them. Honk!
Anytime, man.
The horn snaps Seth back to this world. A smile breaks out on the escaped fugitive's face, and he politely steps to one side to let them pass. Pass they do.
Creepy guy.
Seth, the sword of Damocles is lifted from above Seth's head. He's just solved a problem that a mere 30 seconds ago seemed unsolvable. He knows exactly how he's going to cross the border. Whistling a happy tune, he turns and walks back into room number 9. Interior Fuller's motel room night. The Fullers are in room number 12. It's identical to the one that the Gecko Boys are in, except the paintings above the beds are different. Jacob has fallen asleep in his clothes on the bed. Scott sits in a chair, headphones on, playing an unplugged electric guitar. Kate is nowhere in sight. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Scott doesn't hear shit but his music. Jacob stares a bit but doesn't wake up. Pound, pound, pound on the door. Jacob springs up. He looks over at Scott, who's lost in guitar heaven, is oblivious of the knocker, then to the door.
What?
From the other side of the door comes a friendly voice.
I'm your neighbor in room 9. I hate to disturb you, but I'd like to ask a favor.
Jacob swings his feet to the floor, stands up, and walks to the door. As he passes Scott, he says in his direction,
I hope none of this is disturbing you.
Scott can't hear him, but when he sees his dad look at him, he smiles. Jacob opens the door and sees Richard Gecko standing in the doorway, looking like the nicest guy in the entire world.
Hi there, I'm from room 9. My name is Don Cornelius. No, not the Don Cornelius from Soul Train. Me and my lady friend need some ice, and we don't seem to have an ice bucket. Can we possibly borrow yours? I'll bring it right back.
Sure.
We follow Jacob as he turns to the dresser to get the motel ice bucket. He grabs it, turns back to the door, takes a couple steps toward it, then stops in his tracks. He sees Richard and Seth both inside the room with the door closed, both with 45s in their hands, both aimed at him.
Hey, what is this?
Seth slugs Jacob in the mouth, knocking him to the ground.
Called a punch.
Scott suddenly becomes aware of what's going on around him and instinctively stands. Richard shoves his 45 in Scott's mouth.
Sit down.
Scott lowers himself back down onto his seat.
Good boy.
Jacob lifts his head off the floor and wipes blood away from his lip. He looks at his opponent, who stands over him.
What's your name?
Jacob.
Okay, Jacob. Get up and sit your ass down in the bed. Make a wrong move and I'll shoot you in the face.
Jacob rises and sits on the edge of the bed.
Okay, move him over here.
Keeping the gun in Scott's mouth, Richard makes Scott rise,
Upsy daisy.
guiding him over to the bed by his father. Richard removes the gun from Scott's mouth and stands next to his brother, looking down at their two hostages.
So what's the story with you two?
He's my son.
How's that happen? You don't look Japanese.
Neither does he. He looks Vietnamese.
Oh, well, excuse me, all the hell.
What's this about?
It's about money, all right, but not yours. See, me and my brother here are in a little hot water, and we need your assistance.
The door to room number 12 opens, and a dripping wet bikini-clad Kate walks in. The brothers spin their guns in her direction. Kate, startled, screams. Jacob and Scott get on their feet and move forward. Seth spins back toward the two men, gun ready to spit.
Stop!
Jacob and Scott freeze. Richard moves like Quicksilver, shutting the door and positioning himself behind the terrified Kate.
What's going on?
We're having a wet bikini contest, and you just won.
It's okay, honey. Everything's going to be all right.
Listen to Daddy, sugar, and don't do nothing stupid. You two. Simon says, sit the fuck down.
They slowly sit. Richard can't take his eyes off of the dripping wet Kate. Both Jacob and Seth see this, and neither men like it, both for their own reasons.
Where are the keys to the motorhome?
On the dresser.
Richie, take the keys, start the big basket up, grab it up front.
Richard doesn't move from his position behind Kate. Kate feels his eyes on her. She slowly turns and looks at him. He looks in her face. Close up Kate. She smiles at him.
Richie, will you do me a favor and eat my pussy?
Close up Richard.
Sure.
Richard.
Richard's eyes go to Seth. Everybody is where they were. Kate never turned around.
Now when you get around to it. Now.
Without saying a word, he takes the keys and leaves the room.
Yo, Gidget, go to the bathroom, put on some clothes.
She grabs some clothes on the floor and moves toward the bathroom. Seth grabs her wrist.
You got 3 minutes longer. 1 second, or you got 3 minutes. 1 second longer, I shoot your father in the face. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
You damn well better. Go.
She goes into the bathroom.
Look, if you want the motorhome, just take it and get out.
Seth grabs a chair and slides it up to the two male hostages.
Sorry, Pops. Ain't gonna be that easy.
We hear the motorhome honk twice outside.
Get ready to move out. We're all gonna go for a little ride.
Jacob shakes his head. No.
Not a chance.
Come again?
If you're taking people, take me. My kids aren't going anywhere with you.
Sorry, I need everybody.
My children are not going with you, and that's that.
That is not fucking that. This is fucking this. Go sit over there.
Scott gets up and walks to the other side of the room, leaving the two men alone. Seth speaks in a quiet, conversational tone.
I ain't got time to fuck around with you, so I'm gonna make this real simple. You take your kids, you get in that car, or I will execute all three of you right now. What's the answer gonna be? Yes or no?
Jacob looks at him.
Yes.
Good. Hey, old man's all right. Just saved your life.
Seth bangs on the bathroom door.
Time's up, princess.
The bathroom door opens. Kate stands there wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and bare feet.
All right, ramblers. Let's get rambling.
Exterior highway night. The motorhome with the powder keg interior drives through the Lone Star night. Interior motorhome night. Richard's in the back bed area with a gun trained on Kate and Scott. The two scared siblings hold hands.
Excuse me.
Richard zeroes in on her.
What?
Where are you taking us?
Mexico.
What's in Mexico?
Mexicans.
He doesn't smile. In the front part of the motorhome, Jacob sits behind the wheel, driving into the night. Seth sits in the passenger seat, going through Jacob's wallet and talking to him calmly.
Jacob Fuller. Jacob, that's biblical, ain't it? I'm asking for, of course, it is. What are their names?
Scott and Kate.
Seth repeats the names as he thumbs through the wallet.
Scott and Kate. Scott Fuller. Kate Fuller.
Seth comes to the snapshot of Jacob and his wife.
Who's this?
My wife.
Where's the little lady?
Heaven.
She dead?
Yes, she is.
How'd she die?
Auto wreck.
Oh, come on, give me some details. How did it happen? Some fucking drunk killer?
No. It was a rainy night. The brakes on her car weren't great. She had to stop suddenly. She slid on the road. She crashed. She died.
Died instantly?
Not quite. She was trapped in the wreck for about 6 hours before she passed on.
Those acts of God really stick it in and break it off, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Seth looks back at the wallet. He sees Jacob's minister's license.
Is that real?
Yes.
Seen one of them before. Friend of mine had himself declared minister of his own religion. Is what the fuck the IRS. So what you doing? Or are you the real McCoy?
Real McCoy.
You're a preacher?
I was a minister.
Was? Is it not anymore?
Yes.
Why'd you quit?
I think I've gotten about as up close and personal with you as I'm going to get. Now, if you need me like I think you need me, you're not going to kill me because I won't answer your stupid, prying questions. So with all due respect, mind your own business.
Seem to have touched nerve. Don't get too sensitive, Pops. Let's keep this friendly. But you're right enough with this getting to know you shit. There's two ways we can play this hand. One way is me and you go round and round all fucking night. Other way, reach some sort of understanding. Now, if we go down that first path, at the end of the day, I'll win. Go down the second, we both win. Now, I don't give a rat's ass about you or your fucking family. Y'all can live forever, or you can die this second, and I don't care which. The only thing I care about are me, that son of a bitch back there, and our money. And right now, I need those three things to get into Mexico. Stop me if I'm wrong, but I take it you don't give a shit about seeing me or my brother receiving justice or the bank getting its money back. Right now, all you care about is the safety of your daughter, your son, and possibly yourself. Am I correct?
Yes.
Thought so. You help us get across the border without incident. Stay with us the rest of the night without trying anything funny. And in the morning, we will let you and your family go. That way everybody gets what they want. You and your kids get out of this alive, and we get into Mexico. Everybody's happy.
How do I know you'll keep your word?
Jesus Christ, Pops, don't start with that shit.
You want me to sit here and be passive. The only way being passive in this situation makes sense is if I believe you'll let us go. I'm not there yet. You have to convince me you're telling the truth.
Look, dickhead, the only thing you have to be convinced about is that you are stuck in a situation with a couple of real mean motor scooters. I don't want to have to worry about you all fucking night, and I don't think you want to be worrying about my brother's intentions towards your daughter all night either. Notice the way he was looking at you, didn't you?
Yes.
Didn't like it, did you?
No, I didn't.
Didn't think so. So as I was saying, I'm willing to make a deal. You behave, get us into Mexico, and you don't try to escape. I will keep my brother off of your daughter and will let you all loose in the morning.
You won't let him touch her.
I can handle Richie. Don't worry.
The two men look at each other for some measure of trust. Seth sticks out his hand.
I give you my word.
Seth can't help but think about the last time he gave his word.
My words, my law. Ready to not take it, but that's just where we are. Take it and not mean it.
Seth takes his hand, but looks. Jacob takes his hand, but looks right into Seth.
If he touches her, I'll kill him. I don't give a fuck how many guns you have. Nothing will stop me from killing him.
Fair enough. Break your word, I'll kill all of you. Kate, honey,
Yeah.
let's have a Bible in here, don't you?
Yeah, we got a Bible.
Get in and bring it up here, will you, please?
Kate goes into a drawer, pulls out a Bible, and brings it up the front.
Hold it right there, sweetie pie. Put your hand on it.
Jacob does.
Swear to God, on the Bible, you won't try to escape, and you'll get us across the border.
Swear to God, I won't try to escape, and I'll do my best to get you into Mexico.
You best better get it done, Pops.
Seth places his hand on the Bible.
I swear to God, I'll let you loose in the morning, and your daughter will be safe. I also swear if you do anything to fuck me up, I'll slit all your throats.
Time cut to interior motorhome night. Richard's in the back with Kate and Scott. Richard, expressionless, looks at Kate's bare feet. Slow zoom, Kate's bare feet. Exterior close up, Kate's toes. Oh my God. They wiggle. His eyes go to her hands. A slow zoom, Kate's hands. Exterior, X close up, Kate's fingers. His eyes go to her neck. Slow zoom, nape of Kate's neck. Exterior, X close ups, Kate's Adam's apple. She swallows. His eyes move up. Side profile of Kate, slow zoom to Kate's lips. Back to Richard.
You mean what you said back there?
Kate turns to him.
What?
In the room, were you serious? Or were you just fooling around? I'm just bringing it up because if you really want me to do that for you, I will.
Do what?
What you said to me in the room.
What did I say?
You asked me if I would.
Richard!
What?
Seth and Jacob.
Told you to watch those kids, didn't say talk to them. Because we have nothing to say to each other, so cut the chatter.
Richard turns to Kate.
Talk later.
Kate still hasn't a clue what he means. Cut to exterior, the Mexican border night. Automobiles are lined up, waiting one by one to go into Mexico. Cop cars with their red and blue lights flashing are all over the place. Border patrolmen and police are stopping all cars. Pulling up to the end of the line is the Fuller's mobile home. Interior mobile home night. Jacob at the wheel, Seth in the passenger seat. Seth jumps up and goes into action.
Okay, everybody, it's showtime. Richie, take Kate in the bathroom.
Richard grabs the terrified Kate and drags her in the bathroom.
Scott, come up here with your dad.
Scott does. Seth, keeping low, gets behind Jacob.
Telling you, don't hurt her.
As long as you're cool, she'll be cool. What are you going to say?
I don't have the slightest idea.
We'll just keep thinking about the gun next to Kate's temple.
Seth disappears into the bathroom with Kate and Richard. Closing the door behind him. Father and son are alone for the first time since this whole thing began.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and get us across the border.
No, Dad, you got to tell him that. They're back there.
Jacob is surprised to hear Scott say this. Interior bathroom mobile home night. The bathroom, which consists of a shower, a toilet, a small sink, is a tight fit with 3 people in it. Richard has his back against the wall with his arm around Kate, holding her in front of him. One hand is over her mouth. The other holds a .45 against her head. Kate's eyes are wide with fear. Seth stands, .45 in hand, ready to fire if the wrong person should open the door. Everybody talks low and quiet.
This isn't gonna work.
Shut up. It's gonna work just fine.
I just want to go on record as saying this is a bad idea.
Duly noted. Now shut up.
Everybody's quiet for a second till Richard breaks it.
They're gonna search the van.
As long as we don't act like a fucking no, we're just fine.
What does that mean?
Richard lets Kate go. She quickly moves to the side.
You just called me a fucking nut.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said as long as I don't act like a fucking nut, implying that I've been acting like a fucking nut.
Take a pill. Kid, I didn't say. I just say take cool.
You meant that, but you meant the other thing too.
Kate can't believe what she's watching. Neither can Seth.
This isn't the time, Richard.
Fuck those pigs. You called me a fucking nut, and where I come from, that stops the train on its tracks.
Keep your voice down.
Or what?
Back to Jacob and Scott.
You've forgotten about your sister.
They're gonna kill us. This gets us across the border. They're gonna take us out in the desert and shoot us.
If they get over the border, they're going to let us go.
Dad, I watched those reality shows. They never let anybody go.
Any
Any
cop,
cop will
sorry.
Any cop will tell you in a situation like this, you get a chance, you go for it. This is our chance.
What about Kate?
They're gonna kill her anyway. At least now with all of these cops, we've got a fighting chance.
Son, I have this situation under control. I know exactly what I'm doing. You're going to have to trust me on this.
If trusting you means trusting those fucking killers, I can't do that. If you don't tell the cops, I will.
Jacob grabs Scott by the front of his shirt and yanks him to him.
Now you listen to me. You ain't going to do a goddamn fucking thing, you hear me? Nobody cares what you think. I'm running the show. I make the decision.
He's running the show.
I'm running the show. I make the plays. You back the plays I make. Stop thinking with your fucking balls. Kate in the room with a couple of desperate men with nothing to fucking lose ain't the time to go for it. I need your cover. Cover my ass.
There's a honk behind them. They both look out the window. It's their turn with the Border Patrol guards. Jacob takes the wheel and drives up. A stern border guard approaches Jacob's window.
How many with you?
Just my son and I.
What is your purpose in Mexico?
Vacation. I'm taking him to see his first bullfight.
Back to bathroom.
I'm curious. What was the nuttiest thing I did?
This isn't the time.
Oh, I know. Was it possibly when your ass was rotting in jail and I broke it out? Yeah, you're right. That was pretty fucking nutty. Not to mention stupid. But you know what? I can fix that right now.
Seth hauls off and punches Richard smack in the head. Richard hits the floor. Guard, Jacob, and Scott hear Richard fall in the bathroom.
What was that?
Oh, that's just my daughter in the bathroom.
You said it was just you and your son.
I meant me, my son, and my daughter.
Close up on
Open the door. Open the door. I'm coming aboard.
Back to bathroom. Uh-oh. Close up. Kate, we can only see Kate's face. It's scared. We hear rustling around the bathroom, but we don't know what it is. Then it's quiet. Then we hear talking outside the door, but we can't make it out. Then we hear a knock.
I'm in the bathroom.
It's the Border Patrol. Open up.
It's open.
We hear the door open and we see the light change on Kate's face. She's looking up. Border guard in the doorway looking in. He sees Kate by herself, pants around her ankles, wow, sitting on the toilet.
Do you mind? Shut the fucking door.
Excuse me.
He closes the door. Kate lets out a breath. We wait for a beat. Seth pulls back the curtain in the shower. We see Richie on the floor of the shower, knocked out. Seth and Kate meet eyes. He gives her the okay signal. Cut to back window motorhome. We see through the back window of the motorhome the border getting smaller as we drive away from it. Scott knocks on the bathroom door.
It's clear.
Seth bursts out of the bathroom.
God damn it, that was intense.
Seth goes to the back window. We see the border getting farther and farther away. No cars following.
We did it. We were in Mexico.
Kate, emerging from the bathroom, reacts to Seth's scream along with Scott. Seth is so happy that he does a little jig in the back of the van. Everybody else is still tense as shit, but Seth lets go of all his tension and becomes a new man before our eyes.
Come on, Kate.
Kate, nervous, takes a step back. What? He charges for her, grabs her, hugs her around the waist, and spins her around. When he lets her go, she stumbles dizzily onto the bed.
You were magnificent. You told him to shut the fucking door. I'm in the shower. I was thinking to myself, did I just fucking hear what I think I fucking heard? And then he shuts the fucking door.
Kate smiles.
I was a bit younger, lady. Fucking marry you.
Seth goes up front and slaps Jacob on the back.
I gotta fucking hand it to you, Pops. You raised a fucking woman.
Jacob doesn't share Seth's enthusiasm, but he is relieved.
We did our part. We got you into Mexico. Now it's time for your part, letting us go.
Pops, when you're right, and you are right.
You're gonna let us go?
In the morning, darling. In the morning, we are GONE, and you are FREE. Now, I know I have put you guys through hell. I know that I have been one rough pecker. From here on out, you are all in my cool book. Scotty, help pick Richie up. We're going to take him to the back. We're going to lay him out. Jacob, you're going to keep going down the road until you get to a big sign that says De Gallo. When you get to De Gallo, you're going to turn this big bastard left. You're going to go down the road for a few miles until you see a bar called the Titty Twister. From what I hear, you cannot miss it.
Then?
And then you stop, because that's where we're going.
Claps him once again on the back and leaves to attend to Richard.
We're recording. Take it away, Eric.
All right, cut to close up Richie without glasses. Unconscious, Seth slaps his face.
Come on, kid. Wake up. Don't make a career out of it.
Richie starts coming to and opens his eyes. Seth sits at the foot of the bed.
You okay?
Yeah, I think so. What happened?
I don't know. You just passed out.
I did?
Yeah, we were standing there. You said something about your hand hurt, and then you just hit the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Really?
Yeah, you fell. You hit your hand in the toilet hard. Scared the shit out of me. You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just a little fucked up.
Well, let me tell you something that'll clear your head right up. We are officially Mexicans.
What?
We are south of the border to Mexico, baby.
We are?
Yeah, we're heading to the rendezvous right now. We get there, we're going to pound booze till Carlos shows up, and he'll escort us to El Rey. And then you and me, brother, we're going to fucking kick fucking back. I mean, like them apples.
Slowly shaking the cobwebs out of his head.
Far out. Where are my glasses?
Oh, they broke when you fell.
Oh, fuck, Seth. That's my only pair.
Don't worry about it. We'll get you some glasses.
What do you mean don't worry about it? Of course I'm going to worry about it. I can't fucking see.
When we get to El Rey, we'll take care of it.
We got like a Mexican hole in the wall is going to have my fucking prescription.
Look, it's not a
Is it
big...
George? Is George frozen, you guys?
He looks frozen.
Far out. Where are my glasses?
Oh, wait, we're not recording.
No, we are.
Says we are.
Now we are.
Far out. Where are my glasses?
Oh, they broke when you fell.
Oh, fuck, Seth. That's my only pair.
Don't worry about it. We'll get you some glasses.
What do you mean don't worry about it? Of course I'm going to worry about it. I can't fucking see.
Oh, when we get to El Rey, I'll take care of it.
Oh, yeah, like a Mexican hole in the wall is going to have my fucking prescription.
It's not a big deal unless you make it a big deal, Richie. Now, I'm in a good fucking mood. Stop bringing me down with this bullshit.
Jacob calls to the back.
Guys, we're here.
Cut to a neon sign that flashes the Titty Twister, hiker, trucker bar, dusk till dawn. Underneath the joint's proud name on the sign and on top of a biker/trucker bar's dusk till dawn is a welcome endowed woman whose breast is being twisted by a neon hand. Exterior the Titty Twister night, the neon sign sits on top of the rudest, sleaziest, most crab-infested strip joint honky-tonk whorehouse in all of Mexico. The Titty Twister is located in the middle of Nowheresville. It sits by itself with nothing around it for miles. A plethora of choppers and 18-wheelers are parked out in front. The wheels almost pulsate from the loud, raunchy music within the structure. Signs cover the walls outside reading things like new dancing, whores, beer, authentic Mexican food, bikers and truckers only, open dusk till dawn, Thursday cockfight night, Wednesday dogfight night, donkey show Mondays. Wow. every Friday bare knuckle fight to the death featuring the lovely Santiago cannot say it right. Santinico Pandemonium. I'll get it. Athena, and Danny the Wonder Pony, and the sleazy titty twister dancers. In the parking lot, a biker and a truck driver beat the shit out of each other. One with a pipe, the other with a hammer. A second biker fucks a titty twister whore against the wall. A greasy man known as Chet Pussy stands in the parking lot, soliciting customers through a Mr. Microphone.
Pussy, pussy, pussy. All the pussy must go. At the titty twister, we're slashing pussy in half. This is a pussy blowout. Make us an offer on our vast selection of pussy. We got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, Asian pussy, hot pussy, cold pussy, wet pussy, tight pussy, big pussy, bloody pussy, fat pussy, hairy pussy, smelly pussy, velvet pussy, silky pussy. Nogdahide pussy, napping pussy, horse pussy, dog pussy, mule pussy, fake pussy. If we don't have it, then you don't want it.
Wow. The Fuller's recreational vehicle pulls into the parking lot and stops. Interior motorhome night. What's left of the Fuller family and the Gecko family look out the windshield onto the site. That is the titty twister.
Okay, troops, this is the home stretch. All right, so here's the deal. This place closes at dawn. Carlos is going to meet us here sometime before dawn. 3 or 4 hours from now. So we're going to go in there. We're going to take it to see. We're going to have a drink. We're going to have a bunch of drinks. We're going to wait for Carlos. Could be an hour, could be 3 hours. I don't know which. But when he gets here, me and Richie are going to leave with him. And after we split, you guys are officially out of this stew pot. Let me just say, I'm really happy about where we're at right now. We got a real nice, I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me attitude going on. Now, if everybody just keeps playing the cool, I'm looking at you too, Richie. Everyone's going to get what they want. Grande amigos?
Everybody nods and mutters in agreement.
Okay, hard drinkers. Let's drink hard. I'm buying.
Exterior parking lot night. The camper door flies open and the two brothers and the Fuller family step out into the night. They look across the parking lot at the titty twister. It literally looks in some ways like the entrance to hell.
Out of the stew pot and into the fire.
Shit, I've been at bars like this place make like a fucking 4-H club.
I gotta say I'm with Jacob on this. I've been to some fucked up places in my time, but that place is fucked up.
Seth can't believe it.
Oh, what's the matter? Is the little baby too afraid to go in the big scary bar?
The two brothers square off, not like strangers fighting, but like brothers fight. They talk real quiet, but real personal.
That's what you think?
Yeah, that's how you're looking, Richie.
I'm looking scared?
That's what you look like.
You know what you look like?
No, Richie, what do I look like?
You're looking green.
That's not what Seth expected to hear.
How?
Where are you right now?
What do you mean?
Where are you?
I'm here with you.
No, you're not. You're sipping margaritas in El Rey, but we're not in El Rey. We're here, getting ready to go in there. You're so pleased with yourself about getting into Mexico, you think the job's done. It ain't. Get back on the clock. That's a fuck with you bar. We hang around there for a couple of hours, in all likelihood, we'll get fucked with. So get your shit together, brother.
My shit is together.
It don't look together.
Well, it is. Just because I'm happy doesn't mean I'm on vacation. You're just not used to fucking seeing me happy because it's been 15 fucking years since I've been happy. My shit is forever together.
Richard believes Seth's response.
Okay, just checking.
They walk toward the bar's entrance. Chet Pussy talks into the microphone.
Take advantage of our penny pussy sale. Buy any piece of pussy at tour regular price. You get another piece of pussy of equal or lesser value for a penny. Now try and beat pussy for a penny. If you can find cheaper pussy anywhere, fuck it.
Chet notices our heroes, especially young Kate.
What's this? A new flavor approaching. Apple pie pussy.
Side, asshole.
Chet pokes his finger in Seth's chest.
Not so fast, slick.
Seth does not hold back. He grabs hold of Chet's finger, bends it backwards till the bone snaps in two. Chet lets out a scream.
Ah!
Seth violently brings his head forward, pulverizing Chet's nose. Chet falls to his knees in front of Seth. Seth hooks him with a powerful fist under his chin that snaps Chet's head back, throws him to his back. After hitting the ground, Seth sends a savage kick straight to Chet's face, rolling him over. Chet is out. The whole altercation took about 2 seconds. Everyone's in shock and looks at Seth. Seth looks back at everyone.
Is my shit together or is my shit together?
Richard and Seth laugh with each other.
Your shit is forever together.
They head for the door. Richard stays behind for a second and gives the fallen Chet a few swift kicks. Just like that. Interior, the titty twister night. If the titty twister looked like the asshole of the world from outside, in the immortal words of Al Jolson, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is the kind of place where they sweep up the teeth and hose down the cum, the blood, and the beer at closing. In the back, topless dancers do lap dances with customers while a sleazy sexy stripper strips to raunchy music played at an eardrum bursting level. Two men are in a savage bare knuckle fight, surrounded by screaming customers of bikers and truckers. One of the dancers is a man with a saddle on his back. His name is Danny the Wonder Pony. The woman on his back in the saddle, feet in the stirrups, hand on the reins, is Athena, his rider. They dance around they dance around to the cheers of the crowd. Bikers and truckers play pool in the back. Fights break out here about every 10 minutes. The customers may start them, but the bouncer, Big Emilio, ends them. Seth, Richard, Jacob, Scott, and Kate walk through the door. They each individually take in the sights and the smells. Seth is the first to finally say something.
This is my kind of place. Yeah, I can become a regular.
The man behind the bar is Razor Charlie Diddy Trejo. He eyes the group as they approach. Their difference from the usual road waif nomads who populate the Titty Twister disturbs him. He exchanges a knowing look across the room with Big Emilio as the group bellies up to the bar.
Whiskey.
You can't come in here.
What do you mean?
This is a private club. You're not welcome.
Are you telling me I'm not good enough to drink here?
This bar is for bikers and truckers only. You get out.
Big Emilio almost magically appears behind Seth and places his big beefy sausage fingers hand hard on Seth's shoulder.
Walk, pendejo.
Seth slowly turns his eyes to the big hand on his shoulder. Uh-oh.
Take your hand off of me.
I'm going to count to 3.
No, I'm going to count to 3.
1,
2.
Jacob jumps in the middle.
Now, wait a minute. There's no reason to get ugly. There's just a misunderstanding going on here. You said this bar is for truckers and bikers. Well, I'm a truck driver.
Everybody looks at Jacob. As Jacob talks, he takes out his wallet.
If you look outside your door, parked in the parking lot, you'll see a big-ass recreational vehicle. That's mine. In order to drive that legally, you need a Class 2 driver's license. That is the same license that the DMV requires truck drivers to carry in order to drive a truck. This is me, and this is my Class 2 license. This is my truck. This is a truck driver's bar. I'm a truck driver, and these are my friends.
Everybody's a little stunned after Jacob's speech. Razor Charlie picks up the license, looks at Jacob, looks at everyone in the party, and smiles.
Welcome to the Titty Twister. What can I get you?
Seth brushes off Big Emilio's paw.
Bottle of whiskey and 5 glasses.
Razor Charlie's eyes go to Seth. Even though he has a big smile on his face, he looks like he's going to kill Seth. But instead, he just says,
Coming right up.
Razor Charlie goes for the bottle. Big Emilio gives the party one last look and walks away. Richard gives Jacob a buddy punch on the shoulder.
Good job, Pops.
Seth's still frying an egg on his head.
Typical. Biggest number one problem with Mexico. It's not service oriented. I was feeling fucking good, and those fucking assholes brought me down.
Richard puts his arm around Seth.
Welcome. Shake it off.
Razor Charlie brings the bottle and the glasses. Seth looks at the guy, still pissed.
You some fur here, Jose?
Razor Charlie knows Seth's taunting him with a racial slur, but he just smiles and says,
Best in Mexico.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that. We're going to grab a table, send over waiters to take our order.
Seth walks away and the group follows him. We just hang on the evil wheels turning inside of Razor Charlie's head. The 5 of them move across the floor to a table. As they walk, Kate attracts stares, wolf whistles, and rude comments from some of the patrons. Jacob keeps near his daughter. The dancers do their sexy routines. A big-chested, wild-haired blonde catches Scott's eye. She winks at him. Richard leans over and whispers in Scott's ear.
Anytime you want to lap dance with that broad, say the word. It's on me, kiddo.
He gives the boy's neck a squeeze. Jacob's eyes survey the surroundings. Big Emilio and Razor Charlie quietly exchange words about the party in Spanish.
They are not the normal road trash we normally feed on. But it'll be okay. No one knows they're here.
The five of them find a table and sit down. Seth, still in a bad mood, takes the cork out of the whiskey bottle and tosses it. He pours Richie and himself a glass.
Who else?
Pass.
Why not? Against your religion?
No, I do drink. I'm just not drinking now.
Suit yourself. More for me. Scotty?
Scott shakes his head. No.
How about you, Kate? You're safer with us in here than wander around the Mexico border town all night. Just don't do nothing stupid and we'll all get along fine. Scotty, are you sure you don't want to drink?
Okay, I'll have one.
No, you won't.
Seth pours Scott a shot.
Sorry, Pops, but I'm drinking and I don't like drinking alone. Bottoms up, boy.
Seth takes the drink and he too experiences an on-drinker's tremor. Seth turns to Kate.
How about you, Cutie Pie? Ready for round two?
Okay.
Seth just passes her the bottle. She pours her own shot and knocks it back.
Dr. Frankenstein, I think you just created a monster.
Jacob turns to Seth and asks quietly.
Why are you so agitated?
Still stewing about that ape laying his hands on me. That fucking bartender sticks a weed up my ass, too.
He backed down.
He's smiling at us, but behind his smile, it's saying, fuck you, Jack. I can hear it loud and clear.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Nothing. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to drain this bottle. I'm going to drink the last drop. I'm still feeling this way. We're so way now. I'm going to take it. I'm going to bust it over his melon fucking head.
Before we stepped in here, you told all of us to be cool. This means you too.
Yeah, I said, never said do what I do. I said do what I say.
Are you so much of a fucking loser you can't tell when you've won?
Richard, Kate, and Scott both turn to Jacob. Nobody can believe what he just said. Neither can Seth, who calmly lays down his drinking glass.
What did you call me?
Nothing. I didn't make a statement. I asked a question. Would you like me to ask it again? Very well. Are you such a loser you can't tell when you've won? The entire state of Texas, along with the FBI, is looking for you. Did they find you? No. They couldn't. They had every entrance to the border covered. There's no way you could get across. Did you? Yes, you did. You've won, Seth. Now enjoy it.
Seth looks at Jacob, then picks up the bottle.
Jacob, I want you to have a drink with me. I insist.
Jacob slides his empty glass over to Seth. Seth pours booze in Jacob's glass and his own. Both men pick up the glasses.
To your family.
To yours.
They both knock them back and slap the empty glasses down.
Now, is your shit together?
Forever together.
Seth turns to Scott.
The camp right there, you saw a guitar. I take it it's yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
Go out and bring it in. No song coming on.
Cut to Seth sitting at the table, playing guitar, singing Mexican songs. Some bikers, truckers, and whores have gathered around their table. Everyone's grooving. Seth finishes the song. Everybody applauds. Razor Charlie behind the bar grabs the greasy microphone that he uses to announce dancers.
And now for your viewing pleasure, the mistress of the macabre, the epitome of evil, the most sinister woman to dance on the face of the earth. Lowly dogs, get on your knees, bow your heads and worship at the feet of Santanico Pandemonium.
The lights go down low. A light hits the stage. The opening notes of the coasters Down in Mexico fills the room. The crowd hushes up, and on the stage steps Santanico Pandemonium. This Mexican goddess, Salma Hayek, is beautiful, but not the beauty that Stendhal described as the promise of happiness, but the beauty of the siren who lures men to their doom. She dances to the raunchy music, not like she owned the stage, but like she owned the world. And if the patrons And if the patrons of the Titty Twister are her world, the world is proud to be her possession. That was awesome. All activity in the bar save Santanico stops. Even the Fuller Gecko table falls under her spell, especially Richard, Scott, and Kate. Seth knows this song and accompanies from the table with the guitar. When the music builds to his explosive section, Santanico leaps from the stage, landing in the middle of the room. She does an eyes closed voodoo dance in a perfect step with the beat. As the music continues to play, a very fucked up looking Chet Pussy walks in. He goes over to the Razor Charlie and points at Seth's table, describing what happened. As the last verse plays, Santanico, like a snake, comes up from the ground on top of the Fuller Gecko table. Richard, Kate, and Scott are enraptured. Santanico scans the table, zeroing in on our boy Richard. She stands over him. While moving her body to the music, she lifts up the whiskey bottle from her table and pours whiskey down her leg. She lifts her foot with the whiskey dripping from her toes and sticks it in Richard's face.
Bebe Sudodo.
Bonita. Richie, mesmerized, sucks the whiskey off her toes. The crowd goes wild. Santanico smiles. Master of all, she surveys. Jacob and Scott are embarrassed. Kate, oddly enough, is turned on by the controlling power this woman has over a man she's deathly feared. Seth laughs out loud, a Mexican yee 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 laugh, keeping the beat with his guitar. Across the room, Razor Charlie, Chet by his side, motions over Big Emilio. He begins explaining with pointing what Seth and company did to Chet. Richard continues to suck her toes. The song ends. Santanico extracts her foot from Richard's mouth, steps off the table, takes a drink of whiskey, looks down at the seated Richard. She grabs the back of his hair, yanks his head back. His mouth opens because she's hurting him. She leans her face over his like she's going to kiss him, then lets the whiskey from her mouth fall into his. They never touch. The crowd applauds. She lets go of Richard's hair, except for Jacob and Richard. Both for their own reasons. The table applauds. None louder than Seth.
Bravo, bravo, bravo! That's what I call a fucking show!
Now, one of the Bonita Santanico's flunkies brings the naked woman a robe, which she puts on. Richard, still in a daze, looks up at his new friend.
Earth to Richie, you want to ask your new friend to join us?
Yeah.
I want to ask her, you dumbass.
Por favor, señorita, would you care to join us?
Muy bien, gracias.
Santanico sits down next to Richie. Seth pours her a drink.
Richie, you lucky bastard. Now, little lady, if you could just as easily done that to me. Oh, Nelly. That reminds me of a joke. Little Red Riding Hood is walking through the forest, and she comes across Little Bo Peep. Little Bo Peep says, "Hey, Little Red Riding Hood, are you crazy? Don't you know the big bad wolf is walking through these woods? What if she finds you? She's gonna pull down your dress and squeeze your titties." And Little Red Riding Hood hitches up her skirt, taps a 357 Magnum she has holstered to her thigh, and says, "No, he won't."
As Seth tells his joke, Jacob notices Razor Charlie, Big Emilio, Chet moving rapidly toward their table.
Oh, shit. Seth.
Seth
Not now.
waves him away.
Not now. So she finally comes across the big bad wolf, and the big bad wolf's laughing. He's like, "Little Red Riding Hood, you know better than to walk alone in these woods. I'm just going to have to pull down your dress and squeeze your titties." And Little Red Riding Hood whips out a 357, cocks it, sticks it in the big bad wolf's face, and says, "No, you don't. You're going to eat me, just like the story says."
Seth starts laughing at his own joke uproariously. Richard, Kate, Scott, Santanico join in too. Before Jacob can say anything, the Titty Twister trio stand over the table.
Which one?
This piece of shit broke my finger and my nose. Then this fucker kicked me in the ribs while I was down.
That's all Big Emilio has to hear.
Oh,
Fuck off, ape man.
Ooh. Big Emilio leans in with his beefy hand, grabs Richard by the shoulder. Richard lets out a howl as blood pours from his wounded shoulder. Santanico steps back from the table. Seth jumps to his feet, fires around from his 45 into Big Emilio, sending his bullet-ridden body to the floor. Razor Charlie whips out a straight version of his namesake and slashes Seth across the face. Seth screams at the top of his lungs as his hand goes up to his laid open cheek. Richard, who has fallen to the ground holding his wound, brings up his 45 and starts blasting. Razor Charlie takes a bullet in the head, chest, belly before he hits the floor. Jacob and his children have hit the floor as well as to stay out of gunfire. The bikers, truckers, waitresses, and whores all stop what they're doing. The music continues to play, though the dancers stop dancing. Santanico, who's closest to the two brothers, smells something. Her nostrils flare. Richard moves to his brother, who takes out a handkerchief and puts it to his face.
How are you?
Scar for life. That's how I am.
Seth looks up and sees Chet still standing there.
That was pretty funny, didn't you?
Both brothers fire on Chet. Chet's blown left, right, then drops, pointing their guns toward the crowd.
All right, everybody be cool or you'll be just as dead as these fucks.
Slow motion. Blood drips down the side of Seth's face. Slow motion. It splatters to the floor. The camera scans the crowd. The patrons are scared, but the waitresses, whores, and dancers lick their lips. Slow motion. Blood drips from Richard's shoulder. It falls to the floor, splattering. We move into Santanico's face. A special aroma fills her nostrils. Her eyes lock on Richard. The look on her face could easily be read as intense sexual desire. Close up, Kate on the floor, looks up and watches, eyes wide with fear, Santanico's transformation. Her nose recedes into her face like a rodent's. The whites of her eyes turn yellow. The fangs of her beast protrude from her mouth. Kate yells from the floor.
Richie, look out!
Before Richie can turn around, Santanico leaps across the floor, lands on his back, and sinks her fangs into Richie's wounded shoulder. Richard lets loose with an agonizing scream. Seth turns to his brother's cry. He sees Santanico, pandemonium, like a mongoose attached to a cobra, legs wrapped around Richard's waist, fangs buried deep in his shoulder, and Richard screaming, slamming about, trying to knock her off. Richard screams to Seth.
Shoot her, get her off!
Seth tries to aim his gun, but there's too much movement. He can't get a clear shot. Jacob and his children can't believe what they're seeing. Richard can't take it anymore. His eyes buckle. Santanico rides him down to the floor. Seth gets a clear shot. He takes aim and fires, hitting the vamp in the head, blowing her off his brother. Richard, who's on all fours, tries to stand and gets about halfway before he stops, saying,
Fucking bitch.
He tumbles over, a corpse. Suddenly, the eyes of Big Emilio, Razor Charlie, and Chet Pussy pop open. The dead men sit up with evil grins on their faces. The patrons scream. The whore locks the door, which is a complicated lock with steel rods going into the ground, turns to the bar and yells.
Dinner is served.
Yes. The bikers and truckers who have been transfixed, watching the impossible, realize that the waitresses, naked dancers, and whores who they were pawing just 5 minutes ago have turned into yellow-eyed, razor-fanged, drool-dripping vampires. Just like that. The vamps attack. What follows is a shark-feeding frenzy. Whores who have been sitting on customers' laps sink their teeth into unshaven necks. Naked strippers and bikers wail the shit out of each other. Truckers get their heads caved in by women half their size. The patrons use whatever they can find to fend off the monsters. Chairs, chair legs, broken bottles, switchblades, anything. Jacob, Kate, and Scott make a dash and dive behind the bar. They hide and watch. Seth stands where he was, limp dick of a 45 in his hand, too freaked, scared, and stunned to do anything. He stands motionless, watching what he can't believe. Behind him, Santanico, who lies next to the dead Richard, eyes pop open. She rises in her snake dance way. Seth feels her and spins in her direction, gun raised.
Let's see if you taste as good as your brother.
She approaches Seth, who fires at her. Bam, 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 click, 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 click. She laughs and gives her hair a toss back. Seth moves backwards, terrified. Santanico gives Seth a swinging round house punch to the jaw that sends him flying over a table, sliding across the floor and into the wall. A badass biker named Frost, with a hideous burn on the side of his face, stands on the top of the pool table, swinging a pool cue left to right, fending off vamps. Big Emilio picks up a biker who stabs him with a switchblade and throws the poor bastard from one end of the bar to the other. The biker winner of the bare knuckle fight, Sex Machine, goes head to head with a stripper. The vamp might have superhuman strength, but Sex Machine has close to superhuman strength, and he's matching the vamp bitch blow for blow. Then he grabs her by the waist, lifts her up over his head, and brings her down hard on an upturned table, impaling her on the wooden leg. Frost is still swinging his pool cue when Razor Charlie appears, straight razor in hand. Frost jumps off of the table to meet the challenge. Razor Charlie swings at him. Frost leaps back, swinging his pool cue at him. They do this dance until Frost cracks Charlie upside the head with the pool cue, breaking it in half. Charlie feels the hit. Frost plunges the splintered end of the cue in Razor Charlie's heart. Green blood comes out of his chest as Charlie screams the vampire's death scream. And here comes my favorite part. Seth comes to and finds Santanico standing over him. He tries to rise when Santanico places her bare foot on his chest, pinning him down to the floor. He tries to move, but the pressure of her foot is equivalent to an engine block placed on his chest.
I'm not gonna drain you completely. You're gonna turn for me. You'll be my slave. You'll live for me. You'll eat bugs because I order it. Because I don't think you're worthy of human blood. You'll feed on the blood of stray dogs. You'll be my footstool. And at my command, you'll lick the dog shit from my boot heel. Since you'll be my dog, your new name will be Spot. Welcome to slavery.
Slow motion, a whiskey bottle flies through the air, sailing end over end. Close up, Santanico looking down at Seth. Her face contorts to feed mode when the bottle hits her square in the head, shattering. We see that Jacob behind the bar threw it. Santanico, bathed in whiskey and broken glass, is momentarily dazed. She looks down at Seth. Seth sits up, 45 in hand, and fires. Thanks, I already have a wife. Santanico is hit in the chest. The bullet from the gun makes the liquor-soaked robe ignite. Santanico screams as she goes up in flames. Big Emilio sees Santanico's fiery death. He lets out a cry.
No!
He turns his hateful gaze on the two humans. Seth and Jacob see Big Emilio zeroing in on them, and they see him move his big frame in their direction. Seth turns to Jacob.
We may be in trouble.
Big Emilio walks steadily through the bar like Godzilla walks through Tokyo, tipping over tables, knocking fighting vamps and humans alike on their asses on his way to stamp out Seth and Jacob. A trucker jumps in his path to attack him. With a quick swing of his hand, the trucker is brushed aside, receiving a broken neck for the effort. Big Emilio never breaks his stride or takes his eyes off Seth and Jacob. Seth and Jacob both grab pieces of wood, holding it like a weapon, but the wood looks puny compared to their opponent. Big Emilio stands in front of them. The two men hold their wood tight. Fangs grow in Big Emilio's mouth and make him look like a huge walking shark. Just when Big Emilio is ready to strike, he hears behind them. "Hey, you, monkey man!" Big Emilio turns and Sex Machine across the room. "Anything you got to say to them, say to me first." Both Seth and Jacob attack Big Emilio from behind. He effortlessly knocks them away. They both hit the ground. Sex Machine gestures with his hand to Big Emilio. "Come ahead." Big Emilio charges towards Sex Machine like a runaway locomotive. Sex Machine stands his ground, waiting for impact. The two huge men collide. What follows is literally a war of the gargantuans. The two mastiffs pound each other till the one buckles. Finally, the one who buckles first is Big Emilio, who hits the floor. Once the floor Once on the floor, Seth and Jacob stand over the huge vamp, beating him with clubs and pipes like LA's finest. The vamp can do nothing except squirm on the floor from the savage beating. That's enough. Jacob and Seth stop. Sex Machine holds a pull cue in his hand. He snaps off the end of the tip, making it jagged, just like a spear. Sticks it into a vamp's fallen body. Big Amelia screams, twitches, and dies. The pull cue sticks straight up from the dead vamp. Chet Pussy spies Miss Apple Pie Pussy herself, Kate. He breaks into a grin and licks the blood from his mouth. Kate and Scott are cowering behind the bar when Chet appears over the top. They both let out a scream. Scott goes to protect his sister and receives a punch in the face for his trouble. Chet dives at Kate.
You know what everybody says about me? I suck!
Oh my God, I love that one. Chet goes to bite Kate, grabbing at her t-shirt and sees her crucifix. Another crucifix. And he recoils backwards. Scott grabs hold of his head from behind. Kate jumps up from the floor, rips off her cross, and grabs Chet by his beatnik beard, opening his mouth. She shoves the cross inside. Chet's eyes roll up in the back of his head. Whoa. Scott slaps Chet hard on the back. Gulp. Chet has swallowed the crucifix. A sizzling sound is heard moving down from his throat to his belly. He opens his mouth and lets out a noise similar to a train whistle. He jumps up from behind the bar, doing a wild dance from pain. He jumps from wall to wall and floor to ceiling, screaming all the while. Kate and Scott watch him from the bar, mischievous grins on their faces. Chet is on his knees, arms stretched out, yelling at the top of his lungs like a vamp King Lear.
I am in agony.
Agony. Chet breaks off a chair leg, muttering to himself.
Stop the pain, stop the pain, stop the pain, stop the pain.
He plunges the stake into his own heart, but instead of the vampire's cry that escapes from the others upon being staked, Chet lets out a sigh of relief. By this time, there are not too many people left. Most of the vampires have killed by wooded stakes, and most of the customers have been butchered or drained. All that's left on the vampire side are 2 naked dancers and 2 whores. On the human side are Seth, Jacob and his kids, Sex Machine, and Frost. Aside from the children who are hiding behind the bar, all the humans are holding wooden stakes. The 4 human men group together. The 4 female vampires charge, teeth exposed, snarling, and dripping with blood. Seth, Jacob, Sex Machine, and Frost raise their weapons and slam almost simultaneously the 4 vamps. All 4 staked bodies hit the floor. Kate and Scott run from behind the bar to their father's side. They all stand looking at the horrible carnage that has taken place. The floor is littered with dead bodies.
Ain't they supposed to burn up or something?
At that moment, a bright flash erupts, illuminating everyone's face. The sound of the quick burning flames fills the air. Everybody shields their eyes from the intense light, which lasts only a split second. It vanishes, along with the bodies of the vampires. All that remains is a smoldering mess of goo where the vampires once lay. Goo! They all stare at the mess for a few minutes and then run for the door. It's locked. They bang on the door, but it's useless. It ain't budging. Yet they all go on banging, except for Seth. He never ran for the door. He walks over to his dead brother's body and kneels beside it. He takes his dead hand.
Richie, I'm sorry I fucked things up. Really would have liked it in LA. Would have found peace there. Love you, bro. Miss you bad.
Seth goes to kiss his brother's lips when Richard's eyes pop open. They're yellow. Seth raises his head in surprise.
I'm glad you feel that way, Chef. I love you too.
Oh my God. Richard grabs So Richard grabs Seth by the front of his shirt and pulls him down to him. Fangs are now exposed just like that. Seth tries to pull away. He screams for the others to help. Richard pulls Seth down to striking distance and opens his mouth to take the big bite. When Sex Machine grabs Seth from behind and yanks him from Richard's grasp. Jacob, Frost, and the kids have surrounded Richard and proceed to kick him and stomp his head. Sex Machine picks up a chair and smashes it against the wall. He picks up one of his chair legs and walks over to the others, are holding Richard down. Richard sees the wood in the biker's hand. He knows what that means. Seth whips out his 45 and points it at Seth.
Touch
Sex
my
Machine.
brother with that steak, biker, and vampires wanting to suck your blood to be able to lick it up off the floor.
You hate your brother no more.
That's a matter of opinion, and I don't give a fuck about yours.
Jacob, Frost, and the kids continue to hold Richard down to the ground.
Don't be an idiot. He'll kill us all.
That thing's just going up the group.
Shut up.
Richard's giggling.
Shut up, yeah.
Seth, still holding the outstretched gun, takes the stake out of Sex Machine's hand. Seth lowers the 45.
Hold him down.
Smile evaporates from Richard's face.
Richie, here's the piece in death that I could not give you in life.
Seth puts the stake over Richard's heart. Using the butt of his 45 like a hammer, he pounds the stake into Richard's heart. Richard screams and dies. They all stand around the body as it bursts into flames and disintegrates into goo. Seth breaks away from the group and walks over to the bar. He grabs a bottle of whiskey and starts downing it. Kate, of all people, walks away from the group and joins Seth at the bar.
Are you okay?
Peachy. Why wouldn't I be? The world is my oyster, except the fact that I just rammed a wooden stake in my brother's heart because he turned into a vampire. Even though I don't believe in vampires. Aside from that unfortunate bit of business, everything's hunky-dory.
I'm really sorry.
Bullshit! You hate us. If you had a half a chance, you'd feed us to these fucks.
And why didn't I?
Jacob walks over to Seth.
I saved your life. I didn't have to, but I did. And I'm sorry you lost your brother. I'm sorry he's dead. I'm sorry everyone's dead. Now, if we're going to get out of this, we need each other. And we need you to we need you sober and thinking, not drunk and
As Jacob has been talking, a sound has started that has grown louder and louder. Jacob stops in mid-sentence to identify it.
what the hell is that?
At first, I just thought it was birds.
No, it's more of a gnawing sound. Birds peck. They don't gnaw. Rats gnaw. Seth puts the bottle in his hand down.
Bats.
Exterior titty twister night. The outside of the titty twister is literally covered with bats, clawing, flapping, gnawing, trying like hell to get inside. Interior titty twister night. Everyone listens to the ball scratching and clawing all along the walls, the roof, and at the front door. Everyone's scared shitless, and nobody has the slightest idea what to do next. The door begins to crack and splinter. Little claws poke their way through.
Give me a hand.
Jacob runs to a tabletop. He grabs it and covers the area the bats are trying to claw through. The others grab other items to help secure and barricade the door. As the survivors are panicky, boarding up the door and the windows, a dead biker that the vampires fed on pops open his yellow eyes. He sits up and sees all the furious activity. Everybody's so busy they don't notice their new friend. The dead biker vamp sets his sights on Kate, who's putting a board into place. He springs to his feet and pounces on her, just as Sex Machine turns from across the room in her direction. "Watch out, girly!" The biker vamp grabs Kate from behind. She lets out a scream. The vamp holds her close to him in a bear hug, but she's moving around so much he can't get a clear bite. Nice. The others hear the scream and look toward Kate. Sex Machine Big Emilio's baseball bat in hand is halfway to the rescue. As the biker vamp opens his mouth to take a juicy bite out of Kate's shoulder, Kate rams her head back, hitting the vamp in the mouth and breaking his fangs. Nice. He releases her and spits out his teeth just as Sex Machine runs up and swings the baseball bat upside the vamp's head, breaking the bat in two and sending the vamp to the floor. As the vamp lies on the floor, seeing stars, Sex Machine grabs one of the broken ends of the bat, shoves it right in the vampire's heart. He dies and bursts into flames. At that point, 3 other dead victims rise to a sitting position. Sex Machine grabs a chair and throws it to the ground, breaking it. He grabs the 4 legs. Damn fucking vampires. The biker has turned into Captain Sex Machine, vampire hunter. He stakes 2 of the vampires as they get to their feet. Both spew green blood, scream, die, and burst into flames. The third, a trucker vampire, wears a cat cap, smacks Sex Machine in the mouth, ow, which sends the biker for a loop. As Cat Cap runs toward the fallen Sex Machine, Kate jumps on his back from behind. Both of them go tumbling into the stack of whiskey cases. Sex Machine runs over and grabs Kate by the hand, pulling her up out of the way. Cat Cap is lying in a pile of broken bottles and whiskey. Sex Machine raises his stake as a Cat Cap dies and drives it in the vampire's heart. Cat Cap dies and bursts into flames, which hits the whiskey, starting a giant fire. Fire! Couldn't resist. Frost and Jacob stop barricading and run to the fire.
We'll put this out. You stake the rest of these fuckers.
Way ahead of you. What's your name, girlie?
Right? What's yours?
Sex Machine. Pleased to meet you. Kate, let's take these bloodsucker fuckers. Kate and Sex Machine give each other a high five and work staking the dead bodies. Jacob and Frost beat down the fire with their jackets and whatever else is at hand. A hole begins to appear where a window has been plastered over. Little claws scrape their way through. Scott stands in front of the window.
We got a problem.
Houston. Seth, who is barricading doors and window, looks in Scott's direction. The hole in the plaster cracks open and out pops. Where was it? Oh, the bat rat. Out pops a little fleshy vampire bat rat head. The bat rat, which is squeaking and hissing its head off, tries to squeeze its body through the newly formed hole. Seth, gun in hand, runs to the window. He points the .45 point blank range at the head of the bat rat. The bat rat sees this, makes an oh shit face, and yanks his head back through the hole. Seth was ready to fire. He lowers his gun in bewilderment when, wham! The bat rat burst through the hole like shot out of a cannon, hitting Seth in the gut and sending him flying, landing hard on his back. Once Seth hits the ground, the bat thing, which has the body of a fat rat with a bat's large wingspan, lickety split runs up Seth's body to his jugular. Seth's hand grabs the bat's neck and tries to push it away, but the bat thing has its claws dug in Seth's clothes. The bat thing is just inches from Seth's face. Its mouth is snapping.
Get this bastard off of me!
Frost leaves Jacob with the fire and comes from behind and grabs the bat thing and yanks it off Seth. Sex Machine and Kate are a green, bloody mess from their preventative staking of dead bodies. Sex Machine kneels by a dead body, raising the stake in his hand to spear him. The body springs up and bites Sex Machine on the arm. Ow. Red blood squirts all over. Sex Machine screams, ow! Then brings the stake down in the body's chest. It dies, burns, and turns into goo. Sex Machine holds his bit arm and wraps it with a piece of his shirt. He quickly looks around to see if anybody saw him get bit. Nobody saw it. Everybody was too busy. Frost holds the flapping, biting, snapping bat thing, whatever it is, in front of him at arm's length. He struggles with it for a while, then bashes its head against the bar. The first bash takes some fight out of the little fucker. So Frost bashes his head against the bar 6 or 7 times. He then throws the bat thing on the bar, turns it over, garbs a pencil in a cup next to the register, and rams it, just like John Wick, in the bat thing's heart. The bat thing coughs and dies. There's a flash of flames followed by a pile of goo. Sex Machine and Kate have covered up a hole in the plastered window with a table while Frost, Scott, Seth wrestle the bat thing. Jacob has put out the fire. Everybody comes together, exhausted, and takes a breather. Outside, the bats continue to try and claw their way in.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Does anybody here know what's going on?
Yeah, I know what's going on. We got a bunch of fucking vampires outside trying to get inside and suck our fucking blood. That's it, plain and simple. I don't want to hear any bullshit of I don't believe in vampires, because I don't fucking believe in vampires either. But I do believe in my own two fucking eyes, and what my two eyes saw are fucking vampires. Does everyone agree that what we're dealing with is vampires? You too, preacher?
I'm like you. I don't believe in vampires, but I believe in what I saw.
Good for you. Now, since we all believe we're dealing with vampires, what do you know about vampires? Cross has heard vampires. Do we have a cross?
In the Winnebago.
In other words, no.
What are you talking about? We got crosses all over the place. All you gotta do is put two sticks together and it's a cross.
He's right. Peter Cushing does that all the time.
I don't know about that. In order for it to have any power, I think it's got to be like an official crucifix.
What's an official cross? Some piece of tin made in Taiwan? What makes that official? If a cross works against vampires, it's not the cross itself. It's what the cross represents. The cross is a symbol of holiness.
Okay, I'll buy that. So we got crosses covered. Moving on. What else?
Wooden stakes in the heart. Been working pretty good so far.
Garlic, holy water, sunlight. I forget, does Silver do anything to a vampire?
That's werewolves.
I know silver bullets are werewolves, but I'm pretty sure silver has some sort of effect on vampires.
Does anybody have any silver?
No.
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 Then who cares?
When's sunrise?
About 2 hours from now.
So all we have to do is get by for a few more hours and then we can walk out the front door.
Yeah, that's true, but I doubt our barricades, that door, those plastered windows, and these walls will last 2 more hours with these bat fucks fucking with them.
Has anybody here read a real book about vampires, or are we just remembering what a movie said? I mean, a real book.
You mean like a Time Life book?
John Wesley Horton. So mean. He won't stop a man for snorting.
I'll take that. I'll take it as. I'll take it. The answer is no. Okay then. What do we know about these vampires?
Aside from they're thirsty.
Well, one thing, it may got superhuman strength, but you can hurt them.
Yeah, that bottle upside the head of Santanico didn't kill her, but it didn't feel too good either.
Another thing, you try and ram a broken chair leg in a human, you better be one strong son of a bitch. The human body is one rough, tough machine, but these vamps got soft bodies. The texture of their skin is softer, mushier. You could push shit right through them, conceivably. If you hit one hard enough, you could take their fucking head off.
You could take their head off.
Actually, our best weapon against these satanic cocksuckers is this man. He's a preacher.
Frost and Sex Machine look toward Jacob.
As far as God's concerned, we might as well be pieces of fucking shit, but he is one of the boys. Only the problem, his faith ain't what it used to be.
Jacob punches Seth in the mouth. That's it. Standing onto the floor, Jacob stands over him.
I've had enough of your taunts.
Seth looks up on the floor at the wolf.
I'm not taunting you. We need you. A faithless preacher doesn't mean shit to us. A man who's a servant of God can grab a cross and shove it up these monsters' asses. A servant of God can bless tap water and turn it into a weapon.
Seth rises for a big speech.
But I know why you lost your faith. How could true holiness exist if your wife was taken away from you and your children? I know I said God and kiss my fucking ass, but I just changed my lifetime tune about 30 minutes ago because I know without a doubt that there is there is something trying to get out there, and it is pure evil straight from hell. And if there is a hell and these monsters are from it, then there's got to be a heaven, Jacob. There's got to be. Now, what are you? Are you a faithless preacher? Or are you a mean motherfucking servant of God?
Harvey Keitel has to laugh at that. So does everybody else. Jacob sticks out his hand and shakes Seth's.
I'm a mean motherfucking servant of God.
Badass. The laugh and good humor passes quickly, and the only sound to be heard is that of the bats gnawing and clawing. It immediately reminds the group of the deep, deep shit they're in.
I don't know if I can take 2 more hours of that noise.
You can. You'll take it because you got no choice. How do you like 24 hours of it lying in a muddy ditch with only the rotting corpses of your friends to keep you company?
What are you talking about?
Back in 72, I was a numb, trapped behind enemy lines, lying in a rat hole with my entire squad dead. They thought they killed everybody. And except for me, they were right. But it wasn't for a lack of trying. A grenade blew up right next to me. That's why I'm so pretty. They thought I was dead, so I played dead. They dumped all the bodies in the ditch. All I could do was lie there, playing possum. Dead bodies under me, dead bodies on top of me, listening to the enemy laugh and joke hour after hour after hour.
As Frost goes into that amazing monologue, great job, Rudy. The sound fades out and the camera moves to Sex Machine. He's having a hot flash. He can't hear anything. He's looking at Frost speaking, but he doesn't hear any sound. Then he hears a deep male voice say,
First.
"Who the fuck was that?" he thinks to himself. He turns around. Nobody's there. No one else in the group seems to hear it. A female voice seductively says,
Thirst.
We hear Sex Machine's thought in a voice answer. "Stop fucking saying that!
First.
That fight weren't nothing. It's just hurt like a son of a bitch. That's all. It barely punched the skin." Sex Machine looks at Frost, who's acting out his story. The biker is pantomiming, fighting, and slashing. He's describing all the while, but we can't hear anything. All we hear are many voices, male, female, children saying,
Thirst.
First.
Thirst.
First.
Thirst.
Sex Machine begins looking at the other members of the group in a thirsty way. He stares at each of their necks closer and closer until he can see the veins on Frost's neck actually pulsating, throbbing, beckoning to him. Sex Machine has turned into a vampire. The sound comes back as Frost finishes his story.
And then, when I came back to my senses, I realized I had killed the entire VC squadron single-handedly. My bayonet had blood on it and chunks of my flesh on it, like some cannibal shish kebab. And to this day, I don't have the slightest idea how I...
Sex Machine lets out a hideous cry. "Thirst!" Frost screams as Sex Machine grabs hold of him and bites into his neck. The group tries to pull the two men apart. Jacob gets his arm around Sex Machine's neck and tries pulling. Sex Machine takes his teeth out of the biker's neck and sinks them into Jacob's arm. Jacob screams and lets go. Seth, Kate, and Scott react to Jacob being bit. No! Sex Machine grabs Jacob and tosses him effortlessly over the bar, crashing into the shelf full of liquor bottles. Frost hops around the room, mad as a hornet, holding his bleeding neck.
I've been bit. She fucking bit me.
Sex Machine really did punch Seth in the face, dropping him like a sack of potatoes. He smacks the shit out of Kate. She goes flying into the table. Sex Machine turns, seeing Frost breaking off a big table leg. Frost looks at the big vamp.
You're dead, motherfucker. You're gonna bite me? You just turned me into a vampire, asshole.
What are you gonna do about it? Frost, table leg in hand, runs screaming his head off straight at Sex Machine. Sex Machine's nostrils flare. He raises a meaty fist and pulls it back so he can really haul off. Frost top speed, stake raised, screaming. Sex Machine lets out loose with his punch. Seth, Scott, and Kate look up from the floor. Jacob rises from behind the bar. Frost's face collides with Sex Machine's fist. Sex Machine hits Frost so hard it lifts the biker off the ground and propels him through the air. I bet Tom Savini really did that. Seth sees where Frost is heading and says, "Oh, shit!" Jacob sees.
Good Lord.
Frost in midair hits the barricaded plastered over window and crashes through it. Sex Machine lets loose with a maniacal laugh. Ha 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 ha! Heading, hundreds of bat things fly into the bar, and it's not Batman. Seth grabs the two kids by the hand and runs into the back room. Behind the bar, Jacob grabs 2 pieces of wood from off the ground. 10 bat things are in hot pursuit of Seth, Kate, and Scott, who are running for their lives. They get to the door of the back room, whip it open, dive in, and slam it behind them. An ugly, fleshy bat thing manages to get its head caught in the door as it closes. Kate and Scott push on the door as hard as they can. The bat thing's head, which is inside, screams, howls, and snaps in fury. Seth turns toward the bat vamp in the door. He sticks his 45 in its mouth.
You want to suck someone? Suck on this.
He fires, bam, 4 shots that blow the bat vamp's head all over the wall. Nice. Kate yells.
We have to go back for Daddy.
Your dad's dead, Kate.
No!
She spins and grabs the doorknob, ready to fling the door and help her father. Scott grabs her, nice, and pushes her up against the wall.
He's right, Kate. Daddy's dead. He was too far away. If flinging that door and filling this room with those bat things would save him, I'd fling it. The only thing it'll do is turn us into one of them.
Needs our help.
He's beyond our help. You saw him get bit. I saw him get bit. We all saw it. You can't help him. I've got no one left to lose but you, and I can't be alone again. We're sticking together.
Just then, they hear Jacob's voice booming from the interior barroom night. Jacob, holding a cross made out of 2 sticks and reciting appropriate verse from the Bible, is keeping the vampires at bay. But as Seth predicted, it is a shining power of his restored faith that is his mightiest weapon. Jacob is making his way through the vampires toward the back door. A lot of the bats have transformed into bat devil human creatures you would probably see in a Sam Raimi movie. The creatures stand at the edge of the Jacob's force field of holiness. Many bat things fly around the bar like mad, whirling dervishes. A cluster of bat things over, above, and in the front of Jacob. They all growl and hiss at the man of God. For every 1 step forward Jacob takes, the vampire takes 1 step back. Jacob recites the verse from the Bible in a threatening, mean, motherfucking servant of God tone. As he speaks with authority and strength, he sees Frost lying on the ground, bat things on him like ants on a candy bar. But Jacob is too much in control to let even his repugnant sight trip him up. Jacob has backed himself up by the door.
Open the door.
Open the door. The door flies open. Jacob jumps inside. The door slams shut. Jacob hugs daughter and son, as in Kate and Scott. As he hugs them, we see his bloody arm. When he releases them, they can't help but notice.
Did he?
Yep.
Seth explodes, knocking over boxes, busting chairs, tipping over tables, and cussing a blue streak.
Fuck this shit, motherfucking vampires. I'm goddamn motherfucking vampires.
Seth runs over to the barricaded door and yells to the creatures on the other side.
We're all going to fucking die. I'm going to kill every last one of you godless pieces of shit.
You bet you sweet ass you are. And I'm going to help you do it, but we ain't got much time.
Kate is crying. She knows what's happened to her father.
You're gonna be okay, Daddy, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I've been bit. In effect, I'm already dead.
No, Wolf, no. Scott and Kate, crying, grab their father and hold on for dear life. Jacob wants to cry, but if he breaks down, the kids will never have the courage for what they must do.
Children, listen to me. I love you two more than anybody. And I just want you to know that you've made me proud all your lives. But never more so than tonight. And I wish we could sit here and cry until I pass on, but we can't, because I'm not going to pass on. I'm going to turn into a monster. And when I do, I'm going to be dangerous. Before that happens, just know I love you. Now, I'd say in the next 20 or 30 minutes, our friends outside will bust through this door. And I'll probably turn into a vampire within the hour. Now, you have two choices. You can wait for me to turn, then deal with me. Then wait for them to burst inside here, and the three of you will deal with them. Or we could kick open that door, and the four of us can hit him with everything we have and carve a path right through him to the front entrance. But if we're going to go at him, we got to go at him now. I confused them. I scared them. I took them off their guard. But they're going to get unconfused. They're going to get unscared. And they're going to get together, and they're going to hit that door like a ton of bricks. And when that moment arrives, we got to be ready.
Jacob sees the back room is pretty damn big and filled with boxes and crates.
What's this stuff?
My guess is this little dive's been feeding on nomad roadways like bikers and truckers for a long time. This is probably some of the shipments they stole off of the trucks.
Well, I'd say let's tear this place apart for weapons. So when they burst through the door, we'll make them wish they never did.
I don't give a shit about living or dying anymore. I just want to send as many of these devils back to hell as I can.
Amen.
Montage. The survivors are opening boxes and prying open crates. A lot of what they find is bullshit. Pantyhose, coffee, teddy bears, etc. What are they doing at a strip club? But a few of the boxes are just what the doctor ordered. Cases from a sporting goods supplier yield a shipment of baseball bats meant to arrive, at toy stores are a shipment of Uzi replica squirt guns and a box of balloons. Captured en route to a hardware store are shipments of power tools, saws, and jackhammers. Very convenient. Seth and Scott saw the bats into wooden stakes. Kate fills the Uzi squirt guns with tap water from the bathroom sink. Jacob, with Seth's knife, etches a cross into every bullet in the 45 automatic's full clip of ammo. Vampires all start converging on the backroom door, getting their courage back. Kate makes water balloons. Scott sharpens the stakes to a point with the tool. Seth attaches a wooden stake to the end of a jackhammer. Jacob blesses the water in the squirt guns and balloons, turning it into holy water. Our heroes work together, preparing for the battle to come. The backroom door, barricaded with crates and boxes, begin to be pounded on by the undead on the other side. The room tone is a combination of chewing, scratching, pounding, squeaking, and screaming. Finally, they're ready. Jacob turns to his kids.
Before we go any further, I need you three to promise me something. I'll fight with you to the bitter end, but when I turn into one of them, I won't be Jacob anymore. I'll be a lapdog of Satan, and I want you three to promise you'll take me down. No different from the rest.
Kids can't say the words.
I promise.
Kate, Scott.
Promise.
Scott. Scott, I need you to promise.
Yeah, I promise.
No, Jacob still doesn't believe them.
Why don't I believe you? I'm going to ask you to again, and then I want you to swear to God that you'll kill me. If you don't, I'm just going to kill myself right now. Now, since you need me, I think you better swear. Kate, Do you swear to God that when I turn into one of those undead, you'll kill me?
Kate doesn't answer. Jacob places the 45 barrel against his temple.
Kate, we don't have all day, so I'm only going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I promise I'll do it.
Not good enough. Swear to God.
I swear to God on our Father that when you change into one of the undead, I will kill you.
Girl. Now, Scott, we have even less time, so I'm only giving you to the count of 3. 1.
You don't believe in suicide.
It's not suicide if you're already dead. 2.
Okay, I'll kill you when you change. I swear to God in Jesus Christ's name.
Thank you, son.
Okay, vampire killers, kill some fucking vampires.
Interior barroom night. The vampires, bat things, and what have you start breaking down the door. They are in a mad frenzy. They burst through the door. Waiting for them are Scott and Kate holding Uzi squirt guns and water balloons draped down their chests on a belt like grenades. Jacob is holding on a cross made of sharp wooden stakes and the 45 with the cross bullets. Seth is holding the jackhammer. The survivors walk out of the back room into the bar. The vamps back up, letting them inside. What we have here is a Mexican standoff. La, the Wild Bunch. A moment of peace before the battle. The vamps just watch the humans. The humans just watch the vamps. Then, like the bull in the china shop, Seth ends the piece by starting up the jackhammer. Kill them all! Badass. Jacob holds up the cross. The vampires react. The kids spray the crowd with Uzi fire, burning the vampire flesh. The pack of vamps retreat while the Fuller squad walk forward. They are attacked on all sides, but they keep moving toward the door. Seth slams the stakes into the several of the vamps. It speeds in and out of the vampire's chests, each time spraying him in green vamp blood. Jacob shoves his cross stake into the vampire with one hand and shoots 3 vampires with blessed bullets with the other. You badass. Flame Flame bursts from the vampire's chest when the bullets hit. Kate and Scott both whip the water balloons off of their belt and toss them into the crowd. They burst and fry several of the vamps, who fall screaming in pain. From its perch on a wood ceiling beam, a bat thing drops and hurls toward the group. Jacob sees it, raises his gun, and fires. The bat thing bursts into a ball of screaming fire. Seth continues carving a path to the front door by slamming the hammer stake into vampire chest. The front door is barricaded again by a big table and other junk.
Why did they block the door again?
To keep the daylight out. This is where they sleep. Get to the door.
Seth tries to get to the front door when Sex Machine, now a half bat, half devil vamp, about 6'7", drops from above in front of him. Seth rams the stake in its chest. The Sex Machine thing screams out, "Ah!" lifting the hammer and Seth off the ground. Seth is thrown into the hold of the hammer across the room, and he crashes into the table. The Sex Machine thingy falls back into the jackhammer, sticking out of his chest. I died again. Kate, spraying Uzi fire like Rambo, sees Seth fall. She screams. Seth quickly gets up to find himself surrounded by vampires on all sides. With no weapons, he puts up his dukes.
All right, Ted boys, come on. Take a bite and feel all right.
Kate clusters with her father and Scott.
I'm going for him.
No.
Everybody goes home.
Kate turns into a squirt gun firing water balloon, throwing one woman army as she breaks from her father and heads in Seth's direction.
Die, monster, die! Die, monster, die!
Kate mows down the group by Seth. They lie on the floor, burning in agony. Kate takes Seth's hand and gives him a couple of water balloons and a stake.
Watch my back.
Anytime.
Cutting through vampires, the two make their way across the bar. Jacob, firing a 45, takes out several more vampires in a fiery death. Jacob fires the Uzi and chunks more water balloons. As Jacob fights, all of a sudden the sound goes out. He can't hear anything. He wonders if he's gone deaf. He starts to hear the words thirst, 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 thirst. He notices the vampires have stopped attacking him. They look at him with happy smiles on their devilish faces. Fangs begin to grow. His eyes are yellow. Scott turns to his dad. He sees his father is a monster. Jacob, with a devilish grin on his face, oh my God, grabs Scott and sinks his teeth into Scott's forearm. Scott screams bloody murder as his dad begins to drain him of blood. Scott takes one of the water balloons he's wearing and smashes it against Jacob's head. The holy water melts half of Jacob's face away. He lets go of Scott, screaming, and drops the 45 on the floor. Scott drops to the ground, picking up the gun. He brings it up to fire. A totally evil Jacob, with only half a face, matches stares with the boy he once called his son. Scott's eyes turn to steel.
I swear to God in Jesus Christ's name.
He fires, sending a holy bullet into Jacob's forehead, creating a hole from which fire shoots out. Jacob's entire head bursts into flames. Not the wolf. Then explodes. Bye, wolf. From across the room, Fate sees her daddy ignite. Kate sees her daddy ignite. She cries out. In the thick of the battle, Seth yells, "Fight now, cry later!" Kate takes his advice and hits a vamp square in the face with a holy water balloon, which melts his head. A bat thing lands on the back of Scott's neck. He screams as it bites into him. He drops the 45. Kate sees Scott get bit.
Oh my God.
Another bat thing lands on Scott's arm and takes a bite. Scott screams.
You bastards!
She goes to spray them with her Uzi, runs out of water. No! Now 7 bad things are on Scott, biting and sucking his blood. Scott is in agony.
Kill me, Kate!
Kate runs for her brother, does a dive and a roll, coming up by the 45, snatching it in one motion and firing 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Bad things are hit, shoot flames, and all of them explode, blowing up Scott. The remaining vamps approach. All the humans have left is a few bullets and 1 holy balloon.
How many bullets left, kid?
Not many.
No one. You're gonna rip and start cold cocking and make them sing for their supper.
The 2 survivors are backed up against a wall. 2 bad things do a kamikaze dive from the air towards Seth. Seth throws the holy balloon at them. Direct hit. The 2 bad things burst into flames and spiral to the floor. The 2 survivors look at the vampires who stand before them. A moment of stillness before the attack. Kate stands holding the 45, arm outstretched.
Should I use the last bullets on us?
No, you just want the next couple of parasites to try to fucking bite you.
The vamps begin to close in. Kate lines up the 45 sights on the face of an approaching vampire. Seth holds the Uzi like a club, ready to bash in the first vampire's head that gets in a swinging distance. Beams of sunlight shoot the holes that Kate shot through the wall. Approaching vampires burn. The scorched vamps scream like they've never screamed before.
Shoot more holes!
Kate turns away from the vamps and shoots holes in the wall behind them. Daylight comes through, providing Kate and Seth with a safe lighted area. The 45's empty. The vamps hiss and scream at the frustration of not being able to get to them. The 2 survivors hold hands. When all of a sudden the door to the titty twister is pounded on from the outside. The vamps look toward it in horror. On the other side of the door, we hear a voice with a Spanish accent.
Looking for my friend. Is Seth in there?
Carlos! Help us bash in the door!
Danny, Manny, knock on the door. Hurry, hurry.
The vamps are totally fucking freaking out. They run and fly around the bar in a panic, crying, howling, grabbing onto each other. The front door is torn apart from shotgun fire coming from the other side, punching holes the size of basketballs in the door. The table in front of the door gives and falls forward. The door caves in and sunlight invades the bar. Many vamps are instantly fried, bursting into flames. The Mexican gangster Carlos and his two henchmen Danny and Manny, are horrified at what they see. They cross themselves in fright. Vampires search for dark corners, but all is lost. Sunlight hits a mirrored ball attached to the ceiling, sending hundreds of beams of sunlight scattering through the room. Vamps try and dodge the beams. No dice. All around, the vamps combust in fiery explosions. The titty twister is now on fire, burning out of control. Seth and Kate run through the building and leap through the door into the parking lot. Finally, exterior titty twister parking lot morning. Carlos, Danny, and Manny help them to their feet and walk them away from the blazing bar. They catch their breath by Carlos's Mercedes.
What the fuck was going on in there?
Seth loses it. Seth signals Carlos to wait a minute while he catches his breath. Then he hauls off and punches Carlos square in the kisser. Danny and Manny aim their shotguns at Seth.
Hey, ¿qué pasó?
Why?
¿Tu loco?
Why the fuck, out of all the godforsaken shitholes in Mexico, did you have us rendezvous at this place?
I don't know. One place is as good as another.
Have you ever been here before?
No, but I passed it by a couple of times. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Seems like a rowdy place, so there wouldn't be a lot of police, and it's open from dusk till dawn. You said meet you in the morning.
Well, because you picked this place out of a fucking hat, my brother is dead. This girl's entire fucking family is dead.
Carlos stands up again.
I'm sorry to hear that. What were they, psychos?
What, did they look like psychos? No, they were fucking vampires. Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't care how crazy they are.
Danny and Manny react to the vampire news by crossing themselves again.
Oh, Seth. How can I ever make it up to you?
Cannot make it up to you. A 15% instead of 30 for my stay in El Rey. It's a good start.
28.
Jesus Christ, Carlos, my brother is dead, and he is not coming back, and that is all your fault. 20.
They look at each other, then shake hands, saying in unison,
25.
Seth gets the suitcase and gives Carlos 25%. Seth walks over to a red 1990 Porsche 911.
You like the car?
I said new. This is a 90.
It's hardly been used at all. I got it from a drug dealer who only drove it 5 times in as many years. Swear to God, that's like new.
So what, do I just follow you?
Yeah, follow us.
All right, let's do it.
Vámonos.
Carlos, Danny, and Manny pile into Carlos's white Mercedes. Seth, by his Porsche, looks back at Kate. Kate stands alone. The whole desert seems between them. So much to say, but no words.
I'm sorry.
Can't hear you.
Me too.
Oh, there you are. Long pause.
See ya.
Later.
Seth turns his back on her. Just as he opens the door, Kate says behind him,
Seth? You want some company?
Seth smiles.
Kate, honey, I may be a bastard, but I'm not a fucking bastard.
He blows her a kiss across the desert. She blows one back. Seth is in the car and gone. Kate turns around, faces endless desert before her, and begins her long walk home. Later reveals that there is a giant pyramid underneath of the frickin' bar. Theme of music begins pounding. The end.
Awesome job, everyone.
That was really awesome.
That was
That was
amazing.
amazing.